ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the XFL.
Spring football needs spring weather, and we have it today here in fabulous Las Vegas as the Vegas Vipers will play their final home game, hosting San Antonio, playing their final game on the road. And how about this? Kurt Benkert, the man with NFL experience, thrown into the heart of the XFL South playoff race. San Antonio has questions on offense, but not defense, because Jordan Williams has the Brahmas in lockdown mode defensively. And 1 week ago, he kept the playoff hopes alive with one of the best defensive plays all season long. Against Arlington, his teammate Delonte Scott came up with the strip. And from there, it was Jordan Williams, the former Baylor Bear, with the scoop and score. You combine that with a couple of fourth-quarter field goals by Parker Romo, and San Antonio wins without an offensive touchdown. That's right. So we're looking at the top two in the North and the South. Those are the teams that get into the playoffs. And with Arlington losing to Seattle a day ago with the win, the Brahmas can match them with a 3-4 record. And with that, hello and welcome to Cashman Field in Las Vegas. I'm Loa Galindo here with my good friend Sam Ancho, and this is getting nuts in the South because it's very likely that San Antonio and Arlington end up with the same record with wins against the same teams. That means we would go to the fourth tiebreaker, which is the combined scoring defense rank and scoring offense rank. So Sam, it matters how you win or lose these final games.
It matters how you win or lose, but first you have to win or lose. I talked to offensive coordinator Jimmy Johnson for San Antonio Brahmas. He said, hey, I get all the rankings and all that stuff, but first we have to win this game. So what matters now is today.
Hines Ward said he hasn't even looked at the tiebreaker scenarios for those very reasons right there. Here's Ward moments ago in the San Antonio locker room.
Offense, at minimum, at least 2 touchdowns today. Got at minimum, right? Defense, don't give up. Let's pitch the goose egg today, right? Let's pitch the goose egg. Special teams, no penalties. No penalties. No penalties on anything. We do that, we come out of here with the dub. All right, let's go. Get it. Mindset. Yeah. Oh, baby. Back on. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win. That way, go that way.
Now for Vegas with the loss, they are done. This move confuses me a little bit. Luis Perez, by the numbers, top 4 quarterback in the league. He's traded to Arlington. Jalen McClendon will get the start.
Well, the XFL is about opportunity. We talk about it where dreams meet opportunity. Well, now Jalen McClendon gets an opportunity to show what he can do under the bright lights. We'll see if it matches practice where he's been dominant or if it shakes a little bit. It'll be interesting.
Here's Stormy Bonatoni with Vegas head coach Rod Woodson.
Well, Coach Woodson, the big news in the XFL this week was you guys trading your starting quarterback, Luis Perez, to Arlington. Can you give us a little perspective as to what went into that decision for you guys?
Well, you know, I wanted to give Jalen McClendon an opportunity to start. He's an outstanding, talented young player. And for me, being an ex-player, I wanted to give Luis an opportunity to still put tape out there. He wanted to trade, so I obligated. I wanted him to, I wish the best for Luis. I hope they go over there and light it up over there in Arlington, unless he plays us again.
Well, as Jalen told me earlier, it's been a minute since he has started a football game. What was your final message to your quarterback today?
Go have fun. Go have, it's a game. And show the world who you really are.
Appreciate the time, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Send it over to the other sideline. Ian Fitzsimmons, what's going on with the betting lines today, my guy?
Stormer, you and I are on the same page on this one. Now, Vegas opened as a 3-point favorite, total with 39. That's when I waddled my big bloated butt over to the Caesar Sportsbook. I got down on the under 39. Right now, 38.5. Don't ever get beaten by that hook. Buy it up to 39. I like the under in this game with 2 new quarterbacks and the way that San Antonio defense is playing, Lowell.
Yeah, really interesting because in all but one game for Vegas, the over is hit, and in all but one for San Antonio, the under is hit. One team has the offense figured out, the other team in San Antonio trying to figure it out with a new quarterback here today. The kickoff rules in the XFL, teams line up at the 30 and 35. They cannot start moving until the ball is caught. Fred Brown is back for San Antonio, fields it inside the 10. And Brown is off working right up the middle and will be upended shy of the 30. So Kurt Benkert was chilling on the beach 10 days ago with his family. Now he's San Antonio hope for the playoffs. Jimmy Johnson spent this week catering the offense to him.
Hey, let's start fast now. Let's start fast, though. Hey, one play at a time. One play at a time. Let's start fast. Confident. Confident. What we got? What do we got?
I was talking with Jimmy Johnson, the offensive coordinator, before the game. I said, hey, what's the best attribute of Kurt Benkert? He said, man, he's so knowledgeable. He's been around Matt Ryan. He's been around Aaron Rodgers. This dude knows the game of football. We'll see it on full display this afternoon.
Omaha, we go.
Completed one pass last week of the win against Arlington, and that is Jaquez Patrick, and it's really his offense from the running back position because Kalen Ballage was lost 2 weeks ago with a torn Achilles.
And it was back-to-back injuries. It was Kalen Ballage and it was Jack Cohn, their starting quarterback. And so you're seeing a few new faces. Hopefully you'll get better production.
Vegas, Vegas.
Benkert, the fourth starter for San Antonio in 4 weeks.
What is it?
Quick pass, went back over the middle to Landon Akers, the former Iowa State Cyclone, who is still up. Tackle rule in the XFL can't be down simply by falling to the ground like in college. It is down by contact.
So that's one of the special things about Benkert. That wasn't the full example of it, but he talks often about the best play in football is the second play. You saw the first pass wasn't open, so he had delayed a little bit and threw that second window pass. The second play, he learned it from Aaron Rodgers. He said it's the best play, hard to defend.
Played in one game for the Green Bay Packers. Came in at the end to take a knee. Victory formation will always work. Vegas defense coordinated by Chris Dishman.
Nickel shade Tampa. Nickel shade Tampa.
So you're that nickel formation. It's first down. If you're going to be a nickel on first down, that means, hey, we think it's going to be a pass. So Phil may tell you after they earn a first down, you see a pass. Get your DBs in there, four-man rush, and try and make a play on the defensive side of the ball.
Top of the line in 44, that's Vic Beasley. Led the NFL in sacks. And big hit instantly by Maurice Smith out of Georgia, who has 15 games under his belt from an NFL career.
Here we go. Hurry up.
Maurice Smith has a great college pedigree as well. Went to 3 national championships at Alabama. Then he transferred to Georgia to help Kirby Smart build that program.
And that was a messy transfer to say the least.
Torch left kilo, 75 Port Cafe on Vegas. Ready? Torch left.
San Antonio just 20% on third down over the last 4 games.
Timeout.
And that was a situation Benkert was trying to figure out what the play call was.
Not only that, but the clock was running down. And so as a coach, you might say, let's save that timeout. But this is a critical third down. It's the first third down of the game. Build some momentum.
I told him no for right now. On this play, we'll be able to. Are you back on or not?
I can hear him now.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the deal?
Right. I know. So we weren't flipping it then. Okay. Now we. Okay. You're good.
Oh, I see. The right side of this was the right hand.
So this is about the third or fourth different offensive approach that San Antonio has had this season. They want to ground and pound with Patrick and Ballage. Ballage is now out. And they've really gone to a wide open spread out attack.
They haven't found their rhythm yet. You've talked about it, 4 different starting quarterbacks in the last 4 weeks. They're hoping Benkert can bring that experience from a knowledge standpoint, but also the down-the-field passing attack.
Bottom of the line, Max Roberts out of Boston College, one of the top sack threats in the XFL in movement on the San Antonio line.
Right guard, 66. Clock's dead. False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty, third down. Thank you,
What does that mean to hear Benkert say, we're good to the guys?
Well, he's trying to remind himself that he's good as well. This is his first opportunity to get live reps in a long time. And so he said, hey, guys, we're good. But, hey, he's telling himself that he's good as well. And nerves are a real thing, especially no matter if you're a quarterback, a defensive back. When the lights are on, you feel it.
Even for a guy that's played in the NFL?
You said he's taking a couple knees, Lowell.
He was a prolific quarterback at Virginia.
Thank you.
after starting his career at East Carolina. Threw for a school record 455 yards in 2017 for the Cavaliers.
180. What is it?
On 3rd and 14. Bankert comfortable. He's got Akers, and Akers has a first down. Second catch on the drive for the former Cyclone and Los Angeles Ram.
Well, Landon Akers, he led his team in receiving yard in receptions week 1. Then he got injured. He's been out. Last week was his first week back, but he's the go-to receiver for this offense. He's elite in the slot. He knows how to find open spaces within defenses.
And he has a Super Bowl ring from the Rams.
There we go. Vegas, Vegas, we'll go. 180. What is it?
Banker taking a shot. He's got a man deep. Vasher tries to one-handed. Easy call with PI.
Dick, hey, it was in the end zone, right?
End zone?
Yeah, definitely end zone, yeah.
So not playing the
DPI number 6 in the end zone.
Thank you. Pass interference. Defense, number 6. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
What a difference a week of practice makes. They tried to hit TJ Vasher 3 different times last week, and they overthrew him, whether it was Jawad Pass or Kurt Benkert. This week, he's had a full week to build chemistry. That's one thing that Kurt Benkert said. He said the biggest thing is chemistry. Now we're seeing it.
San Antonio with 1 offensive touchdown over the past 3 games. Bankert on her center.
What is it?
He'll throw. And hauled in by Fred Brown. The Mississippi State Bulldog has the Brahmas on the board. Opening drive.
Too easy. Too easy.
So this dude actually has a book. Kurt Benkert has a book about football. NFL 101, passing game 101. He understands ball extremely well. So you saw the communication with Fred Brown, the back shoulder. It's extremely hard to defend. And that extra week of practice, the full week, I'm sure he's been staying after and building chemistry.
Hey, explode the flood left river.
Now an opportunity for 1, 2, or 3. Ball is spotted at the 5-yard line. That means it will be a 2-point conversion.
Explode.
San Antonio has not converted a 2-pointer this season.
Vegas, Vegas. We go. 180. What is it?
Bankert going back right side and overthrown. Looking for TJ Vasher, the Texas Tech Red Raider, who had the game changer with the defensive PI call in the end zone. Beckert with his first start in the XFL. And San Antonio strikes first.
Too easy. Let's get it. Too easy. Too easy.
Boom!
What you want? What you want?
The new XFL has arrived.
And it is here to stay.
1, 2, 3.
We're making it about her and him and them and you. It's a chance for everyone to be a part of something bigger.
Hey, let's keep this up. Let's go.
Something that just might be more than football.
Touchdown! Intercepted! Showing the burger!
Come experience the XFL.
Don't wait. Get your single game tickets now at xfl.com/tickets.
No, kickoff, right?
So, when we do this next time?
Welcome back to Vegas. We're about to see Jalen McClendon make his first XFL start right after this kick. Started his career at North Carolina State before transferring to Baylor. Talk about waiting for your opportunity. 4-year starter at West Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte. But since then, he started 1 game in the past 8 years. As this is Martavis Bryant switching it up with a kick return, taking it from the end zone and tiptoeing to the 25-yard line. McClendon getting play calls from the offensive coordinator, Ray Sherman. Only other start since high school was 2018 for Baylor against Oklahoma State.
And one thing that we've heard is from their coaches is, what will he look like when the lights are on? We're excited to see that.
Hey, on next, on next.
Rod Smith is starting running back, lined up to his right.
180. Wait, time.
And we'll see a lot of this. That's the name of the game for McClendon. Good carry. Now he's going to have to go up against his teammate from 2018 Baylor, Jordan Williams, who entered Week 7 as the XFL's leader in tackles, and he is an absolute beast.
He's been averaging over 12 tackles per week the last 3 weeks. Coming to this week, he's leading the XFL.
McClendon passing, but batted down at the line. That interior is one of the tops in the XFL. Camilo Tagamoa
12.
with the breakup.
Pistol, ace right strong, 29. Pistol, ace right strong, 29.
Hey, 29, ace right strong, 29. 29, you in the pistol. Pistol.
So one thing you're going to start seeing is you saw some quick passes and some runs. Get him comfortable in the game before he starts getting the ball downfield.
Hey, go 28.
So they're flipping plays from the left side to the right side. That's a good read by McClendon.
180,
McClendon following Rod Smith to the right side, keeper all the way. Solid pickup of 6. He was in camp with Washington before the 2019 season. McClendon was part of the final cuts before the season started. So he's been close.
Yeah, that was called a football play. That was supposed to be a handoff, but the timing was off. And so he kept it himself and ran in the gap that was opened by his offensive line. That's a smart ball play.
Yeah. Here we go. Center. 180. Right side.
3rd and 4. Good enough for the first down. And that's Brandon Dillon. Brandon Dillon, former 1A star in Indiana, NAIA All-American, and played in the NFL after that. That's coming from nothing.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
26 base.
And it's an all Baylor backfield right now with Jalen McClendon and John Lovett.
180. Right side.
A little RPO over the middle through the hands of Dillon. How do you know what your quarterback is comfortable with when you haven't seen it live?
Let's go trips left, 25 block.
The fact of the matter is,
25 block, you get the 6.
You don't know until the lights are on. In practice, you're not allowed to hit the quarterback. You run by the quarterback. In practice, yeah, you might be able to intercept the ball, but if you're with the ones and going against the 2 defense, they may say, let him complete it. But this is the opportunity that Jalen McClendon has been waiting for.
Here you go. Sit down. 180. Right side.
Quick pass, and that was jumped by Terrell Bonds. The corners, Bonds and Luke Barku are standouts.
Okay, wide short, even right, 60 wide cross swing. Wide short, even right, 60 wide cross swing.
Hey, 60. Hey, 60. Even right, wide cross swing. Even right, wide cross. Swing, you got to swing.
I'll just say this now, Lowell. They may not want to run that last play again because Terrell Bonds will take it to the house.
He's thinking pick 6 for a ball-hawking San Antonio defense. And it was nearly picked off, but somehow Jeff Bedett comes down with it. The Oklahoma star moved the chains. Huge first down for McClendon.
So Jeff Bedett 2 weeks ago, he had 5 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. He talked about all he wants to be able to do is to stay healthy. He knows if he's healthy, he'll be able to make explosive plays for his team. And so you saw the focus, the concentration. Cam Kelly almost picked it off, but he stayed his eyes on the ball, and he's continuing to stay open for his not young quarterback, but his inexperienced quarterback.
Hey, get to it. Get to it, 239.
Well, he looks comfortable. We can say that, Sam. McClendon felt pressure, it's out. He lost the handle, but it is fortunately recovered by Quintarius Eatman, the right tackle. Disaster avoided.
That's what you got to do. You have to be able to protect your quarterback by any means necessary. Sometimes that means making the hard catches. Other times it looks like recovering the ball that's out on the ground. Keep his confidence up.
And that is Delonte Scott, 45 in yellow, forced a fumble last week. That's what Jim Herman preaches every Thursday. Turnover Thursday, as they call it.
They just want 2. He said, give me 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. We'll win most of our games. Of course, they'll take more.
180. Right side.
Another quick pass. No one's there. And it's Sean Price taking it all the way to the end zone. San Antonio fought the law, and the law won. Sean Price the former police officer from Ocala, with 6.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Did you see that stiff arm that he put on 8? So, I mean, like, I get it. Like, former police officer, all the things. This dude's had an incredible story. But this is ball right here. Look at it. He finds Ken Kelly. He puts his hand in his face and says, hey, get down on the ground. I'm going to go score a touchdown. That's pristine.
And Vegas will line up for 2, where they are 3 of 12 on the season. Chance to take the lead.
180. Right time.
And they do. On the money to Cam Sutton. A league of opportunity. McClendon has made the most of his in his first drive.
There's nothing like the XFL and nothing like an opportunity like this. Jalen McClendon, his last start was in 2018 at Baylor. He's been a backup. He's been waiting for his chance. But all the last few weeks, he's been watching, studying, taking mental reps, waiting for this chance. Now he's got it. First series, first touchdown.
The XFL is brought to you by Progressive, the right call to protect your home and car. Wherever you find Hines Ward, you're going to find a card. It's the Ace of Spades, the best card in the deck. Hines Ward was taught the message of the Ace of Spades by his high school head coach, who gave him a card. He stressed the importance of it. Jordan Williams has embraced that message. He's an artist and painted this masterpiece that Ward has in his room in San Antonio. This is what Ace of Spades is all about. Attitude, communication, effort. You know those 3 according to Hines Ward's head coach in high school, and you will be an elite player and person.
And none of those take talent. It doesn't take talent to have a great attitude about you affect things or have great communication as a football player or even as a human. He's talking about being in the elevator, talking to people. Just get used to that. Outside of football, communicate. And then effort in everything you do. None of that takes talent.
Effort and talent, when it comes together, you got something to work with. Jordan Williams has embraced that message. Stand out for the San Antonio defense. Meanwhile, Vegas special teams using that momentum from the opening drive, pinning San Antonio at the 10-yard line.
180.
Second drive for Banker. And this is to Patrick, nothing going right side. Offensive line has been touch and go for the Brahmas.
Seven up, fake good frog, F slide goes.
Hey,
7 up,
good frog.
fake good frog, F slide goes.
Fred, stay alive.
So this is the black zone. It's backed up. They call it the black zone. That fake good frog, you're faking a run to the right, and then you're going to see something come behind it. So it's you got to be alert for it as a defense.
Banker rolling. It's just going to throw this away as he is pounded to the turf by Maximilian Roberts, and will bring out a flag. Let's listen in.
I think he drove his
You like
RPS.
it? But you don't feel it was late or anything. You felt it was that second act?
I think it was the second act of driving me into the ground. That's
okay, what was the number? 23. 23? Yeah, or RPS.
To the one we had yesterday, right? This
personal foul, passer, defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So San Antonio will take the yards, but the bigger concern is Bankert is coming off hurt. What do you think of the play initially, Sam?
So I see where they're calling. They're calling that Maximilian Roberts drove him into the ground. It wasn't a late hit, but that driving to the ground is not allowed. And when it comes to roughing the passer, it's deemed excessive.
So Jawan Pass, who started last week, is now in at quarterback. Jack Cohen is not available with an ankle injury, and Reed Sinnott is out with a broken foot.
So it looks like Rod Woodson is having a conversation about potentially challenging this play. As we know, in the XFL, teams are allowed to challenge anything that's called or not called.
Called a foul by the umpire because of the second act. He thought he was driven. He thought he was driven. I hear that, Coach. I hear that at that point. However, he's a passer. He's still I hear what you're saying. We're not talking about a late hit or a 2-set knockdown.
Right.
We're talking about the act of when he was being tackled. The umpire felt that he was driven into the ground. Now, if you want to call a timeout for the purposes of reviewing that, we can have Dean check it out.
Out of the pocket, he still get that same protection?
Well, when it comes to secondary catch, so Coach,
Okay, all right. Because that just doesn't make sense because he's a runner.
Right now, once it's
because we call this timeout,
some
Coach, do you not want to challenge?
No, I'm not going to.
All right, we're just going to leave it as a timeout. Okay.
So they're charging timeout. Vegas is charging
Vegas
timeout.
calls their first timeout of the half. It's 30 seconds in length.
I'd love to bring Dean in and hear about, Dean, that process, that second act.
Well, Dean's reviewing
So what
this,
we're looking at here, no, I looked at it, and so here's what we have. Normally, if it's just a follow-through on a conventional tackle, that's not a problem. But when we have something punishing, something separate, where the defender makes no attempt to get off to the side, this was the best look right here, and you're going to see the defender drive the quarterback to the ground, making no attempt to avoid landing on him with all or most of the body weight. That's what was called. Vegas chose not to challenge that, but the call would have stood had they done so.
Dean, thank you so much. Back to the ground for the Brahmas after that first down.
And Dean, if I can, why was Vegas charged a timeout at that moment?
Well, they called timeout, and then there was a discussion with the referee, Reggie Smith, as to what the call was. Coach was considering it, but at that point, we can't delay the game and not charge them a timeout. You either have to challenge it, or we're going to charge you a timeout.
Thank you, Dean. Here's Patrick, slips through one ankle tackle. Eventually, he is brought down by C.J. Avery, second leading tackler on this Vegas team. This is a huge concern, though, because for Juwan Pass, he's not the same type of passer that we've seen so far from Baker.
Definitely, and we just saw Kurt Bankert go back down to the tunnel, back to the locker room, so we'll see what happens with that. And then another addition, we saw Jacquez Patrick. He looks a little bit banged up right now. They just lost Kalen Ballage and Jack Cohn last week, a week and some change to go in practice. So starting quarterback, starting running back. You bring in another quarterback, he gets injured.
And spent all week building the offense around Bankert, who has a different skill set than Juwan Pass.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And that is at least the third delay of game since Juwan Pass has entered as a starting quarterback going back to last week.
And Hines Ward wasn't planning on playing Juwan Pass. It was just he wanted him to sit and learn. But the situation, Dean, at least last week that he played, and then this game as well, game plan built around Bankert, but you always have to be ready as a backup quarterback. He needs to get better at finding that play clock so he doesn't have those delay of games like he did last week.
3rd and 9. Pass pressured, ball is out, no signal, scooped up by Fred Brown.
This quarterback with control of the ball made an incomplete pass.
So incomplete pass. It will bring up a 4th down.
And you don't even have to guess who was the man who was around the ball. That was number 0, Pita Taumoepenu. He's tied for 2nd in the XFL in sacks with 5. He had 3 2 weeks ago and 2 last week. And one thing I know about pass rushers, once you get hot, you get hot. Why? You start believing in yourself more. You believe in your moves more. And so Taumoepenu knows his matchup against the offensive lineman, and he's going to get hot very, very soon.
Short kick. Matthew Sexton gets away from it. And decent field position for the Vegas Vipers. Week 7 in the XFL continues tonight with the Defenders and Guardians on ESPN and ESPN Deportes at 6 Eastern. And tomorrow afternoon, it's the Battlehawks and Roughnecks on ESPN at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Every game is also available on ESPN+. Fitz.
Official word on Bankert, chest injury questionable, Lowell.
Huge, not just for this game, but for the XFL South race. This is a game that San Antonio absolutely needs.
And it's huge for his family as well. His wife, Sam, his daughter, Scout, they agreed to have him come out and play. But with playing in games, there can be that opportunity for injury. And so we're hoping he's okay.
First down carry for Rod Smith. Let's listen in to McClendon.
When they squeeze scrape, no, they're going to call crash, meaning the end going to squeeze and the back is going to go out. So I can yell it out for y'all, too, if y'all want me to.
What's he talking about there, Sam?
That's brilliant. So what's happening is when they do the zone read, the defensive end either has the quarterback or have the dive. When they say crash, that means the defensive end has the dive. Well, he's hearing that.
Rod Smith, tough physical runner out of Ohio State. 55 games in the NFL. Most of his snaps in his career coming on special teams.
And going back to that point, as he hears that, he's going to be alert. Okay, I know that the defensive end is not on me, so I'll have a one-on-one on the linebacker, or I can give it if I hear they're not going to scrape to go get the tackle.
Tonight, 180, right side.
Back to Smith, breaks the 50. So, Sam, what do you think is happening on the San Antonio sideline right now as we see Jim Herman call the plays, but offensively, what's going on knowing that you got to set up for Javon pass?
Well, I was excited.
Laser tray.
I was excited. If I'm San Antonio, I'm saying, man, first drive touchdown. Our offense has been lagging. We finally have our quarterback. Now he's injured. The defense has to get back to that mindset of let's get a stop and score on defense.
Lovett, the running back. And Lovett is brought down by Delonte Scott and Deshaun Downey. San Antonio, the #1 scoring defense in the XFL, holding opponents to under 15 a game.
Rush one spy. Rush one spy. Get those guys rushing now. Rush one spy.
So they ran this play last week, rush one spot, 4 defensive linemen, go rush the quarterback. And usually it'll be 21, Sean Williams, maybe it'll be 15.
Here we go.
Jordan Williams spying on the quarterback. They know McClendon can run. It's third down. Get closer, and if you see an opportunity, go get him.
McClendon to throw, spot on. First down to Badet. His second catch of the afternoon.
I've been so impressed by what we've seen from Jalen McClendon, both in the passing game and using his legs. This does not look like a quarterback whose last start was in 2018. What this looks like is a quarterback who has taken every single mental rep. I was watching him last week on the sideline evaluating plays, talking to his coaches. This dude has been taking it seriously, and his opportunity is finally presenting itself.
Doesn't look like a guy that's starting his second game since graduating high school. As Vegas continues to pound up the middle, 3 yards on the carry by John Lovett.
I remember when I played, our coaches would always talk about mental reps.
Pistol, yep. No, Viper.
And it's something you don't really pay attention to too often. You're like, well, I want to be out there. No, even if you're not out there, pretend as if you're out there. Imagine you're out there. He's been taking every single mental rep and it's showing up on the field.
McClendon comfortable, putting some air under it, looking sideline. Intended target was Sinque Sweeting.
Let's go 11.
And coming down to the end of the first quarter. The total 38.5. Vegas with 8 on the board. San Antonio with 6. So the over certainly in play. It's going to be a close one, though, because a new quarterback with Javon Pass entering for San Antonio. We'll be back from Vegas in a moment.
And what are you going to do when the opportunity presents itself? Jalen McClendon has been on time with every throw. He's been confident. He's been poised. Nothing has surprised him. Look at the placement on some of these balls away from the inside linebacker. And then in using his legs as well. We talk about the XFL as a place where dreams meet opportunity, but not everyone takes advantage of it. Well, Jalen McClendon, his last start was in 2018 at Baylor, has taken advantage of his opportunity, but he's done it by what he's done in practice and on the sideline, evaluating plays, watching plays, imagining himself in those games.
Here you go.
And Rod Woodson saw something in him to even trade Luis Perez, the quarterback that has started the lone win for the Vegas Vipers this year. Throwing on the run to Sexton, sideline, full head of steam inside the 20.
It's just a feel, Lowell. You saw, we call it the B-gap honey hole. He just goes up that B-gap. Aaron Rodgers does this better than anyone. Goes in the B-gap and escapes, not to run, but to pass.
Hey, 24 read. 24 read. 24, you blocking. Zero left. You over there. Here we go. Sit down.
And everybody has their why. For Jalen, it's his son Elijah, who's around a year old. There's Lovett inside the 15. Jalen wants to play this game long enough that his son Elijah is old enough to really remember him playing the game he loved.
And sometimes guys next to you, guys like John Lovett, who was with him at Baylor. When his only start at Baylor, John Lovett had a 75-yard touchdown. Those guys can help you make plays. We saw Eatman cover that fumble up. That's what happens. When you have a player you can rally around, it makes your job easier.
Sit down. 180. Wait time.
Lovett with the carry. Lovett staying up to the 5-yard line. 8 yards for John Lovett.
Here we go, Troy right up.
His production in college never matched how talented Lovett actually is.
Hey, 46, 8 arrows. 8 shuffle, 40, Troy right up, 46, 8 arrows. Hold on.
And we got a timeout.
46, 8 arrows. Yeah. No.
So San Antonio,
hey, Coach Eager,
with one timeout left.
Yeah, you just saying this like my spot, like this my end read. If the end crash, I got you. All right. Yeah, you got the arrow. 8's what's the name? It's Troy right up. 8 shuffle. And you slide him back across on the arrow.
I'm gonna slide it back across.
Yes, like to the right.
46.
No. It's Troy right up.
Troy right up.
Yeah, 8 shuffle.
46.
Yeah, that might be messed up. That might be messed up.
I want to say cut back Brahmas.
Nah, that's 46 switch. Hold on.
46.
Say again.
8 shuffle.
False start on the prior play. It would have been number 71, the right guard.
The right guard. He wants to challenge that there was a false start, 71 right guard. Okay, we're looking at it.
He's challenging a false start.
Okay, I'm on
San
coach's
Antonio
challenge right
has
now.
called a timeout. The challenge start on the prior play.
I'm looking for movement before the snap. I don't see any movement before the snap. That's the end zone.
Dean, he had a right guard was rolling forward, but that was about it.
Yep. There's a little. Okay, I'm looking here. All right, here we go. That's what we're looking at right here. We're rolling. That's the shot. Right there. That's the shot. Okay, so I do have a false start. I've got him moving before the snap. So he's gonna win the challenge. We're gonna make it a false start. I'm gonna get you your information. Okay. So it's gonna be, we're enforcing it from the 14, going back to the 19. 14, yep, it's gonna be second down. 19. Correct. It's gonna be second down. Don't worry about the clock. So we're gonna be second down at the 19 right hash, and our line to gain is the 8.
All right, so what was that down in distance again? Being second in.
It's gonna be second down and 11 from the 19.
Second and 11
Correct.
From the 19.
Correct. No timeout.
Okay, thank you,
no
Dean.
timeout, but they're done with challenges.
Thank you. After further review, it's been determined that there was a false start by the offense number 6, by
71.
number 71. That will be enforced 5 yards to the 19-yard line. It'll be second and 11 from that spot, and the clock will start on my signal. San Antonio is successful in their challenge.
Low and Sam, that was the former Steeler great linebacker Joey Porter, who told his old teammate Hines Ward, challenge that. They won it. There you go. The man knows a little bit about watching offensive line.
And I'm sitting up in the booth saying, that's a false start, that's a false start. But you're saying, why would you challenge a false start? Well, in the red zone, points are a premium. Second and 11, as opposed to what was a first down or close to it, can keep you in a one-score game.
And again, a play like that cannot be challenged in the NFL. But did San Antonio
false start 77, 42
give those yards back? No, it's going to be against Vegas here.
Didn't make it in, so 77.
Going to the 24.
False start. offense, number 77. The defender did not come into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty.
He wasn't in, he fell sideways.
So this ends up being a huge momentum changer, and I don't know if there's a
the
better team to put
no
St.
deal.
Louis and Anthony Becht up there in terms of handling the challenges in San Antonio.
Those are the two teams that know how to handle the challenges well. They know what Dean Blandino does and doesn't review and what they can challenge. But what I'm impressed by is the fact that you use this challenge right now. Hines Ward is saying, man, I feel the momentum by Jalen McClendon. I need to slow that momentum down by any means necessary. Keep this from being a touchdown, maybe a field goal, or maybe even worse, no points.
Now, when we talk about the magnitude of this game for San Antonio, they need a win to move back into a tie with Arlington. If they don't pick this up, it really forces them to try to find a win against Houston or DC to close that gap. It's been very tough to do. Quick toss to Sexton, right side. Oh, he is thumped. And that is Anthony Tejada with the big hit. Jordan Williams there as well.
I don't know if he stumped or he did the thumping, but he's a physical receiver.
Stormy.
Well, guys, you'll notice that starting wide receiver Jeff Badette, who Jalen McClendon told me earlier this week he is the most comfortable with on this offense, is not on the football field right now. Right hamstring, he is questionable, but the body language has not been looking good, guys.
Could use him here. 5 touchdowns to lead the XFL. Stormy, thanks for the update.
Keep it on. 86 legs. 180. Right side.
McClendon, no one looking there. Trying to set up a screen. What happened there, Sam?
Well, I love Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator for the San Antonio Brahmas, because when it's crunch time, third and long in the red zone, he will bring pressure. And so offenses should know he's bringing pressure. We saw a few weeks ago, he brought safety. See, there's 6, 7 guys up in the line of scrimmage. They know someone's going to come free. And so Jalen McClendon has to know that or alert that and get the ball out quicker, or audible the play, change the play to a screen so that he does not get sacked. But this is what San Antonio is known for. They bring pressure.
34-yard attempt for Bailey Giffen. Teammates call him Goose because he looks like Goose from the original Top Gun.
It's interesting how he even got into kicking in the first place. He was a pitcher, and he hurt his arm his junior year in high school, and all of a sudden he was out with friends at a thing with family, and he couldn't throw the ball anymore, so he decided to kick it. All of a sudden he realized the newfound love.
And continued to play baseball the beginning of his college career before having an outstanding finish at Lamar. San Antonio wants another false start. No flag, and this is up and good. 39 yards and in for Bailey Giffen. Vegas with the 11-6 lead. Key challenge, though, by Hines Ward, limited it to a field goal. Bankert could make his return when we come back.
Bring it in for the XFL with a first look at some rising stars.
Abram Smith.
And a new opportunity for others.
Danucci, he's in!
Week 7 continues tomorrow on ESPN.
Coach, update on Bankert coming back out.
Yeah, he just went in. X-rays were negative, so he's going to get right back out there and lead us down, see if we can score some points.
Thank you, boss.
I appreciate it.
That is key. Toughness of Kurt Bankert making his XFL starting debut. We saw him driven down hard by Max Robert, a play that drew a foul and immediately sent him to the locker room to get checked out. Here's Brown with the return. Brown, one man to beat. Brown looking for the lone kick return touchdown this season in the XFL, and he has done it. Fred Brown, 96 yards to the house in Vegas.
The one thing that Hines Ward said, he said, I want us to be the best special teams unit in the NFL. You guys want to go make it in the XFL. You guys want to go make it to the NFL? You need to be great on special teams. We saw that, I mean, that was a great play design as well. You saw a trap play, a double trap on the front line. See, look on the left side. You see those two guys come side to side, and Fred Brown finds the hole. San Antonio has been at the top of the XFL in most categories, but that play design, they're not just dropping back regularly and blocking. They're adding a few wrinkles to keep the kickoff team on their toes, and they know when they get the opportunity, they make the most of it.
And you give Bankert a little bit more time. Here he is lined up for the two-point conversion. San Antonio didn't get it the first time through. Bankert is back, takes another shot. Vasher was confused. And so we'll stay at a 12-11 lead for San Antonio. The total, 38.5. The over looking strong.
He's gone! He's gone! Yes, sir! Yeah. Go! Yeah! Yeah! No flags! No flags! No flags!
Hey, that's overcome with joy right there for Hines Ward.
There's no better feeling for a coach, sure, but no better feeling for the guys on the front line of that kickoff team. When you're blocking, I love it. When you're blocking for your returner and you know you have a chance, sometimes it just takes one block. You go back, you watch the film, you say, man, if I would have made my block, we would have scored. Well, everyone made their block, and they scored.
And being around Hines Ward enough, we know that's not excitement for himself. That's excitement for his team and the individual with opportunity like Fred Brown.
That's all he's taught about. When we meet with him, that's all he talks about. He wants to give his players opportunities. Says a lot of these guys could be in the NFL. I want at least 10% of my roster back in the NFL by the time this is all said and done. He knows that special teams is a huge part of it. And that's why NFL coaches are going to watch this and say, man, maybe that guy needs to be on my roster.
Sweeting, does he have a response from the 5? Good start to the run, hit hard and brought down by Parker Romo, the kicker. Get some, Parker Romo.
And we see Brad Wing, he's on the sideline, the punter. He's running on the field because those specialists, they stay together. Parker Romo might have, maybe not saved a touchdown, but saved an even bigger return from Q Sweeting, who has returned one back in college at Slippery Rock for a touchdown.
Stormy, how we looking?
Well, Fitzy is shaking in his boots over there since he took the under, and we've already got 23 points scored. But just FYI, the first half total in this game was 18.5, so some people have already cashed tickets on that over.
Wow.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's going to be over. These quarterbacks are playing too good for it not to go over that total.
The live total, 50.5 now, fellas.
Wow, looking for big points. These two new quarterbacks because of throws like that. McClendon spot on to the former Packer, Geronimo Allison. Here's Fitz.
Fred, take us onto the field, man. When your blockers up front open a hole like that as a returner, what do you see? What's that like?
Man, I didn't see nothing but green grass and the kicker. I know I just had to beat the kicker. You know, this return for me being long overdue. I've been having some good ones the past 2 or 3 weeks. Just ready to hit one. Guys up front did their job, blocked for me. I just did the best I could do.
What kind of grief would you take if the kicker got you?
Man, he got me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in Seattle. I told my mom that can't never happen again. So this week, I try to put it on, put that speed on. Hopefully I got a 21, 22. So we'll see when we come in this week.
Thank you, Fred. By the way, at 21, 22, that's the GPS miles per hour these guys wear. I think you can chart how fast they're running from Stark Vegas to Las Vegas.
Yes,
heck of a return.
Thank you.
Man, so Fred Brown booking it. Meanwhile, Mike Toverdoff down hurt on the field for San Antonio.
Offense, at minimum, at least 2 touchdowns today. Got at minimum.
Boo! Hey, too easy. Too easy. Let's get it. He's gone. He's gone. Yes, sir.
Well, you mentioned that San Antonio is so good in so many different areas. The offense, that's the last thing they're looking to click.
And they finally are getting a click with Ben Kurt, but the special teams can lead to points as well. That's what we're seeing. Now all they're waiting for is a defensive score.
And that is through the hands of Martavis Bryant. And let's not forget, that's what the XFL is set up for. What they have tried to create with the unique kickoff rule is to increase player safety and bring the kick return back to the game of football. People don't want to see the kick sailing out of the end zone.
What we've seen in the NFL and college, less than 40% of kicks were returned. Well, in the XFL, more than 90% of kicks are returned. And so you're seeing not only returns, but returns for touchdowns.
McClendon trying to get his offense lined up with time winding down, 2 on the clock.
All right, that's going to be their second timeout, correct?
That's correct.
I wonder if he was thinking Clark Kent.
Vegas calls their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
And I love it because McClendon was obviously wrong. He was barking at Brandon Dillon and then apologized for something he did incorrect.
Well, there's a humility piece there, but there's also this piece of, hey, man, roll it off your shoulder. Keep going.
Start over here and just motion to it. Come on. Yeah, motion to it. Yeah, same place. I got you. I got you. I got you. Just trust me.
So Vegas.
Superman! 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 Get it in! Get it in! Superman! Hey, let's go, let's go!
Here we go.
So what is Superman?
I have no idea, but I know that he was wrong on that.
And he was passionate about it.
Passionately wrong.
McClendon standing tall. Sexton turns the corner, slipped out of the tackle inside the 20-yard line. Matthew Sexton out of Eastern Michigan. More than 1,000 yards in his career there.
He had one D1 offer out of his school. He had 70 people in his graduating class. They did not have a playbook in high school. He played every snap of offense, every snap of defense, every snap of special teams. Now he's making his mark on kick, on punt return, and as a receiver.
All right, let's go, let's go.
And Jalen McClendon, the man that's starting his second game since graduating high school, is trying to engineer Vegas to 3 straight scoring drives. A carry by Sweeting going against the teeth of the San Antonio defense. The interior with the big bodies.
Well, I'll say
Gotel, Edwards, and Tagamoa.
I don't know what Superman is, but I'd recommend they run it again because it looked like it worked.
Come on, come on.
So Vegas with one timeout left. They also have their challenge.
X drift. 60 talking max. 60 talking max. 60 talking max. Okay. Yeah.
And we just received word that the XFL's leader in receiving touchdowns, Badet, will not return to this game. Delonte Scott refusing to let Cam Sutton go.
Hey, number 2 now, you should have ran it. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2. 3rd and 7.
So teams will get their timeouts back after the half, but you get one challenge for the game. So San Antonio is done there.
11,
Vegas
11,
does
11.
have one challenge remaining.
Let's go Superman right, 351, stick, dragon, A flat. Superman right.
But you need your timeout available to use that challenge.
Oh, hey, 350, 350.
Oh, we're going Superman left.
We're doing Superman.
Yeah, 350.
I'm excited to see what Superman is because he was passionate about it, McClendon was.
Superman in this case is Rod Smith. Rod Smith! Where's the cape? Are you kidding me? Clark Kent, Rod Smith, Superman, they're all the same dude.
So one thing that Rod Smith said at the beginning of the season, he said, what do you want to be known for? He said, I want to be known for my versatility, not just as a runner, but as a receiver. But I did not realize he meant as a runner, as a receiver, as a hurdler, as a superhero. Like, this is the XFL.
Have some fun in the moment. Sports Center top 10, and we figured out Superman wasn't a play call, it was a person.
If that's what you do after you get the ball.
It was Rod Smith the whole time.
Oh, what if they decide to play him? No matter what, you have to hurdle.
2-point conversion from the 5. Vegas trying to add to the lead. And through the hands of Cam Sutton or Sean Price.
Oh, hold up. We got it. 3 RPS. What was the result of the play? We're going to go half the distance to the goal and force repeat the try. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 3, will be penalized half the distance to the goal attempt to try.
So even though the ball moves up, it still is a 2-point conversion. Once you declare what you are going for after a penalty, whether that moves you back or closer to the end zone, that point amount is still in play.
You see 1-point conversions from the 2-yard line, 2-point conversions from the 5, 3-point from the 10. Penalty still for 2.
180, my side.
Brian Burt, the running back. McClendon will throw, and throwing a great idea here as it's Sean Price finding the end zone for the second time. Don't give very much. This time for the 2-point conversion. 7-point lead for Vegas. Hey, I gotta say this. Now the trade of Luis Perez starts to make more sense because Rod Woodson obviously saw something in Jalen McClendon.
Well, Arlington had been reaching out about quarterbacks. They wanted to try and make a trade. The one person that Rod Woodson would not trade was Jalen McClendon. Why? Because he knew about the potential. He had seen it all season long in practice, but he had never got the opportunity. Dwayne Johnson had always talked about the XFL is where dreams meet opportunity. His dream is meeting the opportunity, and it's shining. He is shining on a national stage.
Stormy.
Rod Smith getting all the love down here. Our play-by-play man very astutely said, Superman's not a play, it's a person.
Yeah.
Can you take us through what just happened?
Oh man, when they bring out the blitz, and we was able to see it and execute. So, score, touchdown. It's always good when you get in the end zone.
The energy on this sideline is palpable. How much fun are you guys having right now?
Oh man, the sun out, man. We in Vegas, man. Last home game, crowd is beautiful. We try to put 4 quarters together, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good team. The record don't show it, but we starting to put it all together right now. We out here playing football.
Keep going.
Appreciate it.
Stormy, thank you so much. And here's Jalen McClendon after it went down with Smith in the end zone.
Welcome to the Jalen McClendon Show. Yeah. That dude is so talented.
Rod Smith, 55 games in his NFL career. Couple of starts. Actually had a monster game filling in for Ezekiel Elliott with the Cowboys. And there's still some juice left at 31 years old.
Well, I love that play design. You heard Rod Smith say it. He said, we knew they were going to bring all-out pressure. We've been talking about it in the broadcast that San Antonio loves bringing pressure in the red zone. How do you counter that? A screen to Superman.
On Vegas. Batman going Vegas.
And now we got Batman to counter it.
Let's come on this side. Let's come on this side.
Kurt Benkert, who is showing toughness after going to the locker room, had his chest x-rayed after being driven down by Max Roberts earlier in the game. First XFL start, and that's on the ground for Jonathan Hilliman. Fitz.
Benkert told me his pain level right now on a scale of 1 to 10, 6.5 to 7. But he's old school. Rub some dirt on it, give him a shot of Terramana tequila, he's good to go.
76 nudge. On Vegas, hey, look right now, okay?
And it's more than just the old school piece. It is that chance to go be a starting quarterback piece. I think that matters as well.
Vegas, Vegas, we go. 180.
3rd and 5 for Baker. To the flat to Hilliman. Hilliman trying to squeeze out of a tackle. Won't be able to do it. Pick up the first down. To 4th we go. What was the highest you played through? Pain tolerance scale of 1 to 10. What are we talking about here?
That 6.5 is real. We talk about that 1 to 10. I mean, people play with 8s and 9s, but 6.5 is serious pain. He may be even giving that an under because you want to be out there. You don't want to say I'm a 10. Oh, let's double check. No, coach, I want to play. This is my chance. This is my shot. I'm going to play through a 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, as long as I get on the field.
Brad Wing to punt, leads the XFL in punt average. The Aussie with the big leg on full display here. Sexton backed up to the 25. Sexton weaving, but brought down by Jack Kerner. The 9-part docuseries, Player 54, takes an all-access look at XFL players and coaches. Episode 5 is available now, and it looks at why Wade Phillips and the Roughnecks brought back cornerback David Tolentino Jr. Tensions rise for Terrell Buckley and the winless Guardians, who host the Sea Dragons coming up, as Seattle looks to extend their win streak with the help of breakout receiver Ja'Cour Pearson. All 5 episodes are available on ESPN+. We'll have a little excerpt of Player 54 coming up at the half. Jalen McClendon back to work. Rod Smith brought down in the open field by Luke Barku, who's been one of the breakout stars. We really documented that one-on-one, shutting down Josh Gordon. You expect him to get a call from the NFL?
I do. He held Josh Gordon to 2 catches for 12 yards in the first half of that game against Seattle a few weeks back, and he's consistently played at a high level.
And in Player 54, we get to learn the backstories of all these players. Luke Barku, standout at San Diego State, undrafted, played in the NFL, said friends and family treated him like he was a first-round pick. Over time, he's had to learn to say no. So he's bettered himself away from the field through this process as he starts getting mixed in with Geronimo Allison. So Barku and Allison go at it, and we got a flag.
Well, his first matchup, you talk about the NFL experience. Barku's first start in the NFL.
Oh, thanks, Eddie.
He was covering Jarvis Landry. He was essentially shadowing him the whole game. So he knows what it's like to go against NFL talent.
And did Barku just bait Allison into the penalty?
Now that we've gotten that all settled, what do you have?
Yeah, 19 black. Wouldn't let go.
So a personal foul. All right. So we're going to go personal foul, black. All right, the down's going to count. Okay, so it's 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd down, 19 black. All right. Correct. Here, whoa. Here we go. Guys, I gotta make an announcement. Move.
Here we go, 21, Dano.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 19. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It's 3rd down.
So Barku set him up. Allison with a personal foul, moving back 15.
The great thing about this league is that everyone's on the exact same playing field. They're all making it right about the same amount of money, so I don't care about your contract. I want to see your play on this field.
It's a big one, though, to make it 3rd and 26 for McClendon, former Baylor Bear, to Price. That's not going to be close to enough. So there's still a lot of time for Bankert and San Antonio. They'll get the ball back with about 3.5 minutes until the break. Under 2 with the XFL rules. It moves to the college style with timing. So up to this point, every ball out of bounds. Once the ball is respotted, the clock continues to run. After incomplete passes, the ball, once it's spotted, clock will continue to run. 2 minutes, though. It's like the rules on the college level. Michael Carrizosa will punt it away to Terrell Bonds. Clean punt. Want to keep this in the field of play. We'll avoid the ball coming out to 35. Bonds ain't gonna matter. Gets it past the 35 with a solid return of 11. Week 7 in the XFL continues tonight with the Defenders and Guardians on ESPN and ESPN Deportes at 6 Eastern. And tomorrow afternoon, it's the Battlehawks and Roughnecks on ESPN at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Every game also available on ESPN+. I'm here for it, coming down to trying to get into the XFL playoffs. A.J. McCarron, Brandon Silvers. McCarron is trying to get that spot in the north behind D.C. for Silvers. Been a rough past couple of games as the Roughnecks have lost 2 straight. They still are in control of the South, and that's where San Antonio comes into play. San Antonio needs a win here to move into a tie with Arlington at 3-4. And with those 2 teams, if San Antonio wins this game, likely could come down to identical records, wins against the same teams, so a 4th tiebreaker, which would be scoring, defense, and offense rank. It's going to be wild, Sam. Baker using the athleticism. Pancake block on the right side. Alize Mack, welcome back home to the Las Vegas native.
Let's go Detroit 6.
Kurt talked about it. The best play in football, second play. The second play, you saw him scramble, throw it back across the field, but he kept the play alive.
We've got two Las Vegas legends sharing the field today. Alize Mack, who just made the catch, and Stormy Bonatoni, Las Vegas native, on the sidelines here in her hometown.
Yeah, so it's during the play. It's not late.
Rod
just
Woolton is challenging a
so
personal foul at
It's
the
not-
end
it's not
of the last play called against Vegas.
Reggie, it's
I'm with you,
not late.
Dean.
It's not out of the play. He doesn't drive a shoulder or forearm. It's not flagrant. The ruling on the field will stand. We don't have a personal foul.
Okay, Dean just said that they took a look at the play. It's not terribly behind the play. The action doesn't rise to the level. But I hear what you're saying, Coach, and that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, Dean's got the advantage of all angles in the all-22. I hear you, Coach. I hear you, Coach.
Head off, Reg.
Reggie, we are ready to play. We're ready to play here, so we can
Coach.
talk after the game with Coach.
Coach, we can talk.
J77 has been warned.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. There
So they
is
lose
no
their
foul for a
challenge is
personal
over,
foul
and
as
they're done with
challenged.
timeouts.
Las Vegas has lost their challenge and are charged with their second timeout.
Third.
Correction. Third and final timeout of the half.
Dean, can you clarify what Rod Woolton was looking at there?
He was challenging. There was some action behind the play where the San Antonio offensive lineman made contact with number 44 on the defense, who was on the ground, but it wasn't flagrant. He just kind of landed on him, and I didn't think it was enough for a personal foul.
Thank you, Dean. Baker, play action. Wants the big one. Picked off. And up and running is Deontay Anderson. The Houston Cougar shaking his way back to the 20. That is how you high point a football. I mean, if your uncle is Greg Cadillac Anderson, you better have some ups. And that was Phi Slamma Jamma-esque.
So Deontay Anderson was one of the top safeties coming out of high school. His nickname was D-Train, not because he was so physical in football, but when he was 7 years old, they gave him that nickname and it stuck with him. He had some, he's a physical hitter, but he high pointed the football. The ball almost floated up a little bit, and then notice him trying to get the yards after the catch. Could have stayed in the end zone, but he trusted his athleticism. Great play by D-Train.
And that is first interception of the season for Deontay Anderson. Grew up in Houston, played at U of H. I mean, with that family, your Houston Cougar royalty making his mark in Vegas. And now 1:44, but no timeouts left for the Vipers. That one thrown behind Cam Sutton.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Superman right, 89 missile. Superman right, 89 missile.
Hey, Superman, hey, 89 missile, 89 missile, 89 missile. Superman right, 89 missile. Superman right, 89 missile.
If Superman is a person, I want to see him come out again right now.
Obviously calling for the hurdle play. John Lovett is the running back. McClendon with the screen to Allison. Fine open field tackle by Jordan Williams.
He got critically. We got something else.
So within 2 minutes, Dean Blandino, the VP of officiating, is allowed to stop the game when it comes to player safety. Looks like a player is just a little bit injured.
And by the way, important tackle right there for Jordan Williams, because Donald Payne from Arlington passed him in the early game this week for the leading tackle spot in the XFL. but now Jordan Williams has taken it back. He has 5 tackles today.
And it's crazy because he was the second to last pick in the XFL supplemental draft. They already had the earlier draft. There was another draft. He was the second to last pick. Now all of a sudden, he's the leading tackler in the XFL.
And another Baylor Bear, former teammate in 2018 of Jalen McClendon, who really has become the story of this game, a spark to the Vegas offense.
Yeah, it's almost like we're watching a star being born. That's what's so impressive about this not only this drive, this entire half from Jalen McClendon.
McClendon started his career at North Carolina State, backed up 2 fantastic quarterbacks, and Jacoby Brissett and Ryan Finley. Then took a grad transfer to Baylor. It was in a heated competition with Charlie Brewer.
You know, an excess timeout. Las Vegas will be charged with a 10-second runoff. San Antonio has declined the 10-second runoff option. The injury occurred with 1 minute, 31 seconds on the clock. Will the clock operator please reset that time? And the clock will start on the snap. Thank you.
So I like this. No Vegas timeouts. This is a sign that Hines Ward, by declining the 10-second runoff, is thinking, get the ball back and score.
He's confident in his defense. He doesn't want that time to run out. He wants them to get one stop and confident in his defense to get it and his offense to score once he gets it.
Got to get the stop here on 3rd and 5.
180. What's up?
McClendon will keep. McClendon is hit in a hurry by Delonte Scott. That will set up a 4th down.
Let's go.
It's San Antonio has used a timeout.
Damn, I gotta get that.
And that will give them 1:23 on the clock after this punt.
They used 2 timeouts.
So Rod Woodson is thinking that San Antonio had used all their timeouts. They still got 1 in the back pocket. And Carrizosa will punt to Terrell Bonds. Punt is off. Players cannot move more than 1 yard downfield until the punt is kicked. Bonds trying to go left side. He's dancing past the 40 and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Let's take a look at today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive.
He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! Yes, sir!
So Fred Brown, the lone kick return for a touchdown in the XFL, and Rod Smith, by far the best hurdle we've seen. But here we go, 1:16, 1 timeout remaining for San Antonio, down by 7.
On the ball.
And you can hear after that completion to Mack, Kurt Banker saying on the ball. We got to go. Clock will continue to run here, 2nd down. It will stop while the ball is spotted after a 1st down. College rules. Banker will keep it, and the clock will stop until the ball is spotted.
That was a great play design here. That paint call.
Right, trips right. Let's go 64 follow. Trips right. 64 follow. X-Indy.
64 follow.
Keep in mind, John Parker Romo with the longest field goal of the XFL this season at 57 yards. We saw that in Seattle. Sideline and through the hands of TJ Vasher. It looked like Vasher got a window for a brief moment.
Yeah, it was a nicely placed ball, a little bit high for Vasher, but I'm more impressed by the comfort of this series that we're seeing from Kurt Benkert.
All right, they're playing cover 2, so go trips right. Let's go 70, River, Thunder. Trips right, River, Thunder. Get some of it.
Hey, go bad 8. Bad 8.
Bankert was on the beach with his wife and daughter 10 days ago. Here he is in the thick of the XFL South playoff race. That's a big stop. What will San Antonio do here?
74 plus house.
They will not use the remaining timeout. Sets up a 3rd and 6. Baker flush, looks to his left, has room, and that will be out of bounds, intended to Fred Brown. So 4th and 6, 14 seconds left, you got a timeout.
I loved hearing Jimmy Johnson, the offensive coordinator here, say, hey, we have cover 2, so let's get half of it back. It sounded like that first play, River, was a screen, but he changed it. Ben Kurt changed it to a running play, cover 2. That means you have less people in the box, less people close to the line of scrimmage. So running plays, you should be able to get a little bit more.
And that incompletion will force San Antonio to run another play as the clock stops. This is where it becomes very delicate for Brad Wing. If the punt goes into the end zone or out of bounds inside the 35, the ball will come out to the 35-yard line. That is a spot for a touchback.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And that's why you got the delay of game.
Well, they delayed the game so they could have a little bit more space for the punt, but what Las Vegas could have done is they could have declined that penalty so the punt would be more difficult. And so we saw it was strategy really by the San Antonio Brahmas.
If you're Vegas, you bring some pressure here?
I don't.
Wing with the boomer. Let's see if this ball checks up. No, into the end zone. So Vegas will have the ball at the 35-yard line. There is a flag down at the 45.
Come on, come on.
I got a takedown. Takedown 48 during the kick. Takedown. Yes. No, not kicking team, receiving team.
Okay, so during the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 48.
Correct.
So it'll be enforced from the end of the kick.
The kick, correct.
Okay?
Touchback.
So the kick was a touchback, so we'll enforce it from the succeeding spot.
You good?
Yep. During the kick, holding. Receiving team, number 48, will be enforced at the succeeding spot, 1st down.
So you would imagine here that the play call in from Vegas is a simple one. And Ray Sherman wants a knee.
Yeah, I'm thinking you take a knee, you go into halftime with this lead, go into halftime with a semblance of momentum, knowing you got a good stop.
It's their ball. It's their ball.
So Vegas, a surprise favorite at 2.5 points, considering they traded their starter quarterback that was the guy for the past 3 weeks before this game. The total at 38.5. We've got 31 combined points going into the break. That's a little bit of a shock as well, because the changes for Vegas offensively, we weren't sure what that would look like, and San Antonio has struggled offensively all season long. But as we've told you many times throughout the course of the previous 6 weeks of the XFL, now in week number 7, this is a league that is built around opportunity. And you look at Jalen McClendon, he gets that opportunity for the Vegas Vipers at quarterback. This is the 2nd start for him in the last 8 years of his career. That is bonkers. 4-year starter in high school, 1 start at Baylor, and gets the start today. And it looks like he's making the most of this opportunity.
One thing I've loved watching over the last few weeks, watching this Vegas team and obviously covering them last week, is his focus. He's so dialed in. Even on the sideline, he hasn't dressed the last couple weeks. He's been in a hoodie, but he's been listening into the plays, dialed in on every single play, and now when his opportunity came, he's been more than ready for it. So that's what impresses me the most. What are you doing when no one is watching?
And you talk to him, and he'll tell you, my why is my son, Elijah. The kid is around 1 year old. He loves his dad. And for McClendon, what he wants to do, he wants to give his son Elijah an opportunity to see him play when he's older, so he really embraces it and remembers it. But all these players, there's a different why.
Even guys like Matt Carrizosa, the punter, he was a walk-on at San Jose State. All of a sudden, the next year became an All-American. But his why is his mom. It's his mom, Amy. His mom lost a battle to cancer, but in 2016, he got a chance to play in the inaugural Cure Bowl, which the focus was cancer, and she got a chance to watch that game. And so you talk about his why. He plays for his mom, and I watched an interview he did before the season. He got emotional about talking about it. Each and every one of these players plays for something so much more than just a paycheck. It's people, sometimes it's places where they're from, back home, but they all have something that's driving them to be great.
And that truly makes the XFL different and special. Beyond the rules, it is the stories of the individuals that are looking to have that shot, just to get an invite to the NFL, just to have that opportunity to look at their kid and say, hey, I did it. You can do it too.
And we talk about it. A.J. McCarron, who's been one of the stars of this league, he could have been a backup in the NFL, but he wanted his sons to watch him play. There's so many players that, sure, quarterbacks could go and back up, but a lot of these players don't want that. Brett Hundley wanted an opportunity, and he's got it earlier in the season. He may get it again. Jalen McClendon wanted a chance, and you see Rod Woodson gave him that chance. Where dreams meet opportunity, we're watching magic happen.
And we learn more about these stories in Player 54, the XFL docuseries.
So I won't be traveling this week. Need to study my playbook a little more and, you know, get up to speed. You know, that's the hard part, but it's a business at the end of the day. But I know once I touch the field, you know, all the hard work and time spent with my family is all going to be worth it. Oh, that's my daughter. What you doing?
I'm just playing around and
What? I can't wait to see you.
I'm gonna go visit you too.
Yep, you're gonna come on an airplane. I love you. I'll talk to you later, okay?
I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Man, she's a blessing for sure, yo. Man, she's my best friend. Being able to show my daughter that I could keep chasing my dreams and showing her that, you know, anything is possible, that's the world to me. You know, I'm doing the best I can to compose myself, being away from her, and, you know, I'm sure she don't really understand, but I used to just tell her, like, you know, Daddy has to go for a while, and Daddy has to go play football, like, I'll be back, you know, and, I hope it, like, shows her the real, like, you know, Daddy wasn't just talking, like, Daddy was being for real. And, yeah, just give her the biggest hug I can, man.
And that is real right there, real and raw. It is Player 54, the XFL docuseries, 5 episodes currently streaming on ESPN+. We'll have more from Cashman Field here in fabulous Las Vegas. We have a game that's pivotal in the race in the XFL South. A lot of interest to Arlington because their competition, Brahmas, are trailing. This is one of the more beautiful days I've seen in a long time, bringing it in right here in Las Vegas with the home team Vipers playing their final home game of the season. They've got the 19-12 lead over the San Antonio Brahmas. This is a lot of intrigue for the XFL South because San Antonio with the win can move into a tie for second place in the South with the Arlington Renegades because what happened yesterday in Arlington. This is Drew Plitt at quarterback. Luis Perez, by the way, was not active after being traded from Vegas. Morgan Ellison, one of the top running backs in the XFL, punches it in. Davion Smith was able to get one back. And then how about this? Josh Gordon. I mean, that's a next level catch right there in Seattle. We tried to tell people, right? We tried to tell people after an 0-2 start, look out for Seattle, and it's now winners in 5 straight. DiNucci, another really good game. Another interception in the end zone, though. So somehow this Seattle team, I don't know how they're doing it. They're last in the XFL in turnover margin, and they're arguably one of the top 3 teams in the league. But this is going to be great. St. Louis, Seattle, fighting for that second spot in the XFL North.
Both teams are getting hot at the right time. We're seeing St. Louis find their groove. A.J. McCarron is getting more comfortable now that he's back in football. But then to Seattle, Ben DiNucci, I get the turnovers. Those are real. But also that offensive output has been explosive. And so that's the piece. But what no one's talking about is the Seattle defense. Clarence Hicks had 3 sacks yesterday. Tuzar Skipper on the edge as well. He's been making great plays. Elijah Ponder. So many plays on that players on that Seattle defense have been keeping them in games. So even though they are last in turnover margin, they're finding ways to get stops behind Jim Zorn, their defensive coordinator.
In this game here, Vegas and San Antonio still does have some significance in the north. With the loss, Vegas is eliminated from the race. So they're trying to fight on just to have an opportunity. Where it really is important, though, is the race in the XFL South. Behind Houston, you have Arlington and San Antonio. And this is so bizarre, the way it may end up. Potentially identical records with wins against the same teams. So that would bring up a 4th tiebreaker, which is scoring rank, scoring defense, and scoring offense. But they have to win this game. If San Antonio doesn't win this game, it almost forces them to find a win against Houston or against a really good DC team to make up ground.
This is why you have to actually play the games before we start thinking about, man, the tiebreakers and what have you. Jimmy Johnson, San Antonio's offensive coordinator, said, we have to win this game. We've talked to Hines Ward, their head coach. He said, man, this is almost like a playoff atmosphere already. Now, here's the thing. Both this San Antonio team and Arlington play the same teams last 3 games of the season. Houston, Orlando, and DC. Orlando is obviously no wins, but Houston and DC, those are 2 of the best teams in the XFL. So if San Antonio can find a way to win this game and maybe pull out another few games, you stay in that conversation. But without a win today, right now, you don't kiss the hopes goodbye, but you have to be that much more in a hole.
And all these conversations depended on both San Antonio and Arlington beating Orlando. That's the assumption at this point. But Orlando, they don't want to go quietly into the night. Now, this is a really important situation here. It's Kurt Bankert. He got the start for San Antonio, an electric first drive. But then he was hurt, driven to the turf by Max Roberts on a penalty that was called for roughing. He went to the locker room, got x-rays on his chest. He told our Ian Fitzsimmons that the pain level is between 6.5. He's trying on a rib protector. He would then take it off. It's just too painful at this point for him.
It's tough, especially as a quarterback. I mean, having that rib protector on and then obviously that pain in your chest to throw the ball, yes, but also to get hit. Think about it. Guys aren't worried, on the defense aren't worried about if you're injured or not. They're going to hit you. They want to get after you. And San Antonio's offensive line has done an okay job, but they need to protect him better. So I want to see how Kurt Benkert's going to respond after getting hit. You're getting live action. This is not practice anymore. Now you're getting hit. How will you respond? Will you find a way to find your team and get a victory, or will it be something of the alternative?
And inside the Vegas locker room now with Rod Woodson.
2 more quarters. Yes, hey, this is what the Vipers are. Yeah. This is who we are. Let's keep proving and let's keep showing it. 2 more quarters, man. That same effort, that same passion, that same quality of play, let's keep going out there and doing it. All right, let's go. We got you.
There is belief for the first time in a while in that Vegas locker room.
And we didn't know how they would respond. You trade your starting quarterback, but everyone here is still playing for something.
Second half coming up. San Antonio playing to try to move into a tie for second place in the XFL South. Vegas trying to avoid elimination. Let's check out our first half stats brought to you by Progressive. The Vegas Vipers breaking in a new quarterback in Jalen McClendon and torching the #1 scoring defense in the league. They got 19 points over San Antonio, 216 total yards. Here's Hines Ward in the Brahmas locker room.
You got to get locked in. I want my team back. I don't know what that team was in the first half. That's bull jump. We're not that good to think we're just going to show up and beat somebody. I want my team back, right? We're 1 possession away, right? Let's go out there and get it. Bring it in.
Let's go, man. Get it. Let's go. Hey, let's go, boys. Hey, we're not expecting nothing extraordinary out of nobody. Just do your job extraordinary well. Yes, sir. Let's do that.
Well, we know the urgency is there for Hines Ward, former Steelers, receiving great. A loss against Vegas would make it an extremely uphill climb to the playoffs for the Brahmas. Bryant brought down in a hurry. And it's, once again, Jalen McClendon time. Set to say he has exceeded expectations And the second start for him in the last 8 years of his career. 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, turnover free.
Ron Woodson said it earlier. Welcome to the Jalen McClendon Show.
Here we go. Sit down. 180.
McClendon with the key. A little option look off that as well as McClendon. Big dude keeps it moving. 6'5", 215. That's a man back there for the Vipers.
I love it. So you heard the arc call. So that tight end's going to arc. Number 45, Delonte Scott. It's hard as a defensive end because you're taught to hit that guy, but when he avoids you, it puts you in a tough position. Do you hit him? Do you try and get the quarterback? What I've been taught is, hey, try to get a piece of him, and then someone else will get that QB.
And these are looks and calls by Ray Sherman we did not see with Luis Perez at quarterback.
180.
And there is Smith. Smith hurdling, knocking people over. That's what he does. Jack Kerner got the worst of that. So at kick, the total was 38.5 at the end of the first. Went up to 46.5, and now in the start of the second half, 51.5. We got 31 total points on the board right now.
Here we go. Sit down. 180.
John Lovett, the running back. And he gets the carry. Lovett with 6 yards on first down.
See all those extra yards that Rod Smith or John Lovett are getting? It may not be spoken, but you're trying to help your quarterback get more comfortable. So you lean a little bit more. You try and get a couple extra yards.
Here we go. So now, set.
McClendon look to throw. Skirting through traffic. We do have a flag back behind the Vegas line. It's going to be a hold.
Hey, I will ask, since it's beyond, if your flag's in a good spot. So that's a good spot. We're going to go from the spot of the foul.
On the foul, so we're two in front of the line.
Number 50. Got it. Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
And that is a big one on Tony Adams. From a second and short to a second and long. Remember, for Vegas, this has been problematic the second half. They've been outscored by 48 points after halftime. That's the worst in the league.
180.
McClendon, quick strike to Sexton. Sexton slips a tackle, going sideline, still in. There's a late flag as Sexton takes this one.
Those numbers, you blocked him in the back.
The San Antonio territory.
Push him in the back, right here now. No. Whoever it was, you just knocked the guy in the back behind the play. Hold on.
Don't foul, Reg. Don't foul.
Hey, Reg, he's on D.
I hear it. It's not a block in the back. It's a personal foul. I've got a personal foul on number 15. End of the run, tack it on. Personal foul. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Well, George Williams obviously does not agree with the call.
Well, the tough part about this, he said, man, I missed the tackle. He's trying to go make a tackle, and you think that Matthew Sexton's going to cut inside, and you're putting your head down. You don't see what you hit, and that's what they call the personal foul. So by the letter of the law, you could call that. But from his perspective, he's trying to go tackle the ball carrier you cut outside instead of in.
He's trying to blow that play up. Dean, what did you think?
You know, it was interesting because you could make the point that he was trying to make the tackle. What the official saw is he took a beat at that opponent, wasn't trying to make the tackle, and just made forcible contact.
Meanwhile, Geronimo Allison back shoulder. That is an elite throw by McClendon.
Yeah, and he had some forcible contact on that pass. McClendon understands football, and he understands leverage. And so he sees the leverage of Barku, and he says, I'm going to throw this back shoulder to Geronimo Allison, who's played in the NFL for years, played for the Packers, caught balls from Aaron Rodgers. And now he's just driving this ball, driving this team calm, cool, and collected. And this is what we wanted to see. You saw the first half. What happens in the second half on the first series?
Twin Reed.
Vipers, timeout.
So timeout.
Las Vegas calls their first timeout of the half.
Now, with that controversial call, that is something that Hines Ward could have challenged, but used his challenge successfully, for that matter, in the first half.
Yeah, he could have challenged it. And I'd love to hear Dean's perspective, because my point is, as a defender, I'm saying I'm going to make the tackle, so I get what the ref sees, but can you see what I see? I'm going full speed. I'm going to make a tackle. Why would I just run into a guy as opposed to make the tackle on a guy? Dean, do you have any perspective on that? If we were to have challenged that play, is there a way it would have been overturned?
No, there's no way it would have been overturned, because, again, I don't know what's in the player's head. All I can see is what I'm looking at on the video, and he did basically make forcible contact with a player who was engaged in a block, and it wasn't him trying to get to the ball carrier. That's what the officials called, and I didn't see anything to overturn that.
So really, intent is almost not a factor in that situation.
And that is the great thing about the replays. It's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact and a matter of the letter of the law. And what are the rules? And if you disobey the rule, there's a penalty for it.
Here you go.
Vegas. This would be a big blow to San Antonio's chances. Batted down. Delonte Scott in your face in a flag. A flag at the feet of Terrell Barnes.
Marcus, I got a flag for 2. Do you have anything on that? Do you have him? No. I had him. You got anything? Tip ball.
Yeah,
the ball was tipped. The ball was tipped. We've got nothing.
All right. What were you calling, Ryan?
DPI.
All right.
DPI. The ball was tipped. We have no foul.
There is no foul on the play. The pass was tipped.
And you saw Jordan Williams. He was pointing that way. He's pointing and pointing. He says, hey, man, watch the slant. So ball tip, no DPI. But Jordan Williams was ready if that ball would have been a slant, because the big split by the receiver, he would have been able to either deflect that himself or maybe intercept it.
Brahmas looking for another big play by Delonte Scott, delivered last week against Arlington. Vegas going backwards. Another flag, however, as Drew Beasley
Did we have 56
celebrates the
declare?
tackle for loss.
No, 56 did not declare. Illegal formation.
Yes, illegal formation.
Number 56 was the end man on the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
All right, good call.
Jay, where did the ball end up, though? Where was the end of the play?
What's the result?
Incomplete.
They're going to want to take him back. Or no. They might want to decline it. Coach, formation, you want to decline for the loss?
Not from the previous and second down, or you can decline it as third down for a loss.
Third down for a loss.
That makes the most sense, Coach.
Yeah, third.
With the end of the
Decline it.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 56 was uncovered and did not declare. The penalty is declined. Third down.
Fitz, how about that nickname we got for Drew Beasley a few weeks ago?
Yeah, that guy's like a box of knives, man. That's how he was described to me by Hines Ward and his college coach, Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State. He was a walk-on at State, had several MAC scholarships, decided to walk on, betted himself. The rest is history.
Glennon over the middle. Vegas looking for the score, but Cam Sutton is upended at the 1-yard line.
You saw Jordan Williams again in on that tackle.
Here we go, 4th down. Vegas, what do you do?
Y up on.
I know we still have a lot of time left.
Y up, K on, 24 Thunder. Tight right, Y up,
but that
K
play
on,
call
24 Thunder.
by Ray Sherman could be the most important call of this game.
Yeah, to you.
I love that. You heard it? You handing it? Yes, I'm handing it off to you.
Love it, the running back. Love it. Trying to get the edge. Love it, has it. Delivering the haymaker here in Vegas.
So relationship matters, right? They both played together at Baylor, number one. Number two, the last start that Jalen McClendon had was in 2018. Lovett was on that team. Lovett scored a big touchdown in that game. There could have been no communication, but we talked about it. The communication on this ball. Yes, I'm going to hand the ball off to you. You do the rest. And we saw John Lovett do the rest with his quarterback, Jalen McClendon.
So it will now be a 1-point conversion, which will still keep the under in play, but barely.
61.
So a 1-point conversion from the 2-yard line. Rod Smith, the running back. Jalen McClendon will throw, complete for 1 to Sexton.
Yeah, you. Hey, sonar! Here we go, step!
Back here in Las Vegas, and who better to speak with after another Jalen McClendon touchdown drive than his mother, Tasha McClendon, who you came out here and surprised him pregame today.
Yes, so it was just kind of last minute, and excited to be here, excited to see him play, and excited to see him do so well today.
Yes, he has been performing. What's that been like for you to watch him finally get this opportunity to start and live out his dream at the professional level?
It has totally just been overwhelming to see him live out his dream and to just be able to have the opportunity to showcase his ability. So I'm very excited for him.
You were talking to me a little bit about his journey and how much he's overcome to get to this point. I would love the folks at home to know a little bit more about Jalen.
Well, you know, he's had his obstacles along his career, but, you know, this opportunity has been presented to him, and I think he's just really trying to make the best out of it.
What was his reaction when he saw you pregame?
Just a huge hug. He's a big hugger.
Thank you so much for joining us, and go Jalen. Awesome.
Thank you. Go Vipers.
Cool.
Stormy, fantastic job. That's Kurt Bankert setting up Dion Yelder, and this is awesome. There's nothing like watching your children do great things. We're both dads. That's what it is about. That's life right there.
There's nothing better than a mom knowing about her son's abilities and then watching him get, as she said, the opportunity. She's seen it, now he gets it, and I'm loving it.
Here's Jaquez Patrick. Oh, big physical run by Patrick. And we asked about the why pregame. To represent his Lord and his fam. Two things that are very important to you, Sam.
Absolutely. You think about it. Some things drive you more than football. He said, God and my family.
TJ Vasher won't get out of that tackle, and that is behind the line for Keelan Kennedy out of Garden City Community College.
By the way, as a dad, all I do is embarrass my children. It must be nice to have a kid that actually, you know, that makes you happy.
Hey, what do you got this week, Fitz?
Well, I got the under in this game. They're not going to be happy at all with that.
Hey, but they keep us in line, right? They keep
Amen.
us in check, Fitz.
It's that belief factor for me.
Oh, nice throw to Akers from Bankert. And there's some belief in Bankert as well. He's looked good. That opening drive was brilliant. 4 for 4, led a touchdown drive.
Left hash.
Then the injury, and we saw him in the locker room trying to get the rim protector. We know he's
Spray
okay.
left snug, hack. Spray left snug, hack. Let's go 75 smash, F juke.
75 smash on Omaha. You go out wide, go out wide.
Brahmas just 1 for 4 on third down. This has been a struggle for them after the opening 2 games in which San Antonio was electric on the money down. Empty for Bankert. That's Akers. Akers is still up across the 50 down to the 40-yard line.
Has Having Akers back has been such a great addition to this team. We talked about it. Led his team in week 1, 7 receptions. Then he got injured. He's been out. Came back last week, and now he's getting back in the groove, leading his team again in receptions. In the slot, he's a weapon. Hard to cover for linebackers. They're also hard to cover if you're a corner.
And some guys take a little longer to develop. Akers caught 1 touchdown in his Iowa State career. It was on senior day. Saving the best for last. Pressure here from Roberts. Looking for that sack. Bankert back foot. And he's got Hilleman out of the backfield. That's a heady play.
We talked about it before, that second play. Notice he's going hard back on the ball right now.
Stay right there. Going fast. He was telling TJ Vasher, get off the field. New personnel package. As bottom of the screen, Emmanuel Butler's trying to get lined up. Patrick. Up the middle. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1. Other guys have a more difficult road, like Jaquez Patrick. So much was expected from him. He was a number 3 ranked running back in the class coming out of high school.
0 trips, good tight.
In the ESPN rankings, but spent most of his Florida State career as a backup. 2018, he was undrafted. Said that was the hardest moment of his life because for the first time, he was the kid that wasn't good enough. But now he's back with opportunity. Stood up by the Vegas defense, right into the teeth. DJ Calhoun is there.
Lo, I have really 2 questions. Who is this team? Because we covered Vegas last week. We did not see this defense, nor did we see this offense. The second question is answered at quarterback Jalen McClendon. But the first one, this is a different Vegas Vipers team than we saw last week.
Last 4th down, we saw Vegas scored a touchdown.
Vegas.
Here's San Antonio on a 4th and 1.
180.
They gotta have it. Back to Patrick, and again. No, he slipped out of 1. To the 30, it's going to be close. I think he's got it. That is all effort by Jaquez Patrick. Move those chains.
They had him locked down in the backfield. You see a missed tackle, a spin move, and then he's looking at the line of scrimmage, line of gain. Notice he doesn't go down. He stretches after the spin and gets a first down. Complete effort play. We talked about it. Effort, communication, attitude. Those things matter.
Diamond formation for San Antonio. They motion out of it with Mack.
What is it?
Bankert checked down to Hilleman. Hilleman got a block by Younger. Lower those shoulder pads. Solid gain of 4.
All right, let's go 3 wides. 7 up. 7 up. Good frog. X pop. 3 wides. 7 up.
Good frog.
Good frog. X pop.
You know what I mean?
Be alert for the safety running down.
Good frog. Hey, Vegas.
You heard him talking to TJ Vasher. Be ready for that pop pass, that quick slant coming in.
Vegas.
Alert the safety. If he's there, don't throw it.
180.
Jimmy Johnson, 3rd game as offensive coordinator. He's had a different starting quarterback in every game. Patrick. Vegas. Bone up. 1-yard gain. 3rd and medium.
Smart play by Brent Kirk, not passing the ball and just keeping with that run play.
Why is that? What did you see?
Well, there was a safety in that space. The safety was down. I think it was Maurice Smith down in that same place where the pop pass would have been. So Ben Kurt was looking at the safety as he's making his call, and he says, you know, I'm going to keep the run play.
Hey, we're on Omaha.
And I got to imagine you got to call this play thinking you have a 4th down coming up if you need it. Baker right up the middle. Will he have enough? No, brought down short. So we'll set up a 4th and 3. Keelan Kennedy, Vic Beasley on the stop.
Let's go. Trips right. River stitch.
So official timeout for an injured player. Vegas Viper is down. We'll check on him when we return to Cashman Field.
Pretty good.
Max Roberts walked off the field. We hope he's okay. Huge pivotal play right here. 4th and 4 with San Antonio down by 14. Field goal doesn't do you much. That would keep it a 2-score game. They've already converted on 4th down once. They're 6 of 9 on 4th down this season. The fade to Brown. Brown in and out of his hands. And the Vipers defense stands tall. Deontay Anderson has a pick at the end zone and has a PBU in the shadow of the end zone.
D-Train. Well, his dad played quarterback, so he understands what quarterbacks are looking at and what quarterbacks are trying to throw. And so he made a great break on the ball. He knew the weak point in the defense. Every defense has a weak point. He knew the weak point in his defense, so his break was perfect. He's trying to get that interception. And if you don't get the pick, at least affect the receiver to make sure he doesn't catch it as well.
So 4:02 left in the 3rd quarter. Does anything change with Vipers' approach at all, or do you keep the gas down?
You keep the gas down. Jalen McClendon has been playing such great football. Let him stay in his groove. You trust him. Keep on trusting him.
Has to go down as one of the biggest surprise performances of the year, simply because we didn't know who he was coming into this game, as that's Sean Price right at the line of scrimmage. But he looked sharp from the very start of this game.
He was, and he started off this game so far, not including this pass, 16 for 24, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 rushes with 25 extra yards. There's so many broken plays that Jalen McClendon fixes with his legs.
Rod Woodson said that something had to change after their loss last week. The change came at quarterback. Luis Perez traded. Jalen McClendon gets the starting nod, as Tini Adewuse and Sean Williams force out Brian Burt. Said, we don't feel like we need to change the approach because receivers have been open. For more, here's Stormy.
Well, you guys have talked so much about this being a surprise performance from Jalen McClendon. Well, it was a surprise to Rod Woodson to an extent, too. He said that he has been carving up the defense at practice day in and day out, but you never know what you're going to get come game time. You never know who the game is too big for, and clearly it has not been too big for him today.
We'll have another you never know type situation after this play right here. 3rd and 3. McClendon, he's got Burt on the sideline, hammered, incomplete. And that is Jordan Williams. When it comes to you never know, what if Vegas gets the stop on 4th and 2 against Seattle and gets a win there and opens up the season with the dub in week number 2, I should say. That's something that could have completely changed the trajectory of this team.
And their game against DC, they were up in that game as well. Then remember, the weather came here in Vegas, and all of a sudden things changed. This Vegas team has been close all season long. Sans last week, they have been close, and now they're putting it all together.
Had a huge lead in the opener against Arlington as well and lost by 2. Terrell Bonds to the 30 sideline. This is danger territory. Makes the kicker miss. Ball is out, and it's pounced on. Michael Carrizosa recovers the fumble. There is a flag down.
Black has the ball. Now let's deal with everything else we've got. Hold up, let's clear the dead ball action.
Hey, that one's for Bailey Giffen. Remember Fred Brown saying, I just saw green and the kicker? He made the kicker miss. Carrizosa this time comes up with the play.
Mike.
That one might be for Amy.
During the loose ball.
Mike.
Yeah, I'll find out who this one. I got you.
We need timing.
I got you.
All right, so after the play, what do you have? Personal foul.
Personal foul, necessary roughness.
Come back with me, coach.
24 black.
All right, 24 of the kicking team. Or the recovery team.
A lot of deliberation here.
Correct.
All right.
But yeah, we need to know when it happens.
If you listen to this Vegas team talk before the season, there was
right.
a plethora of confidence. They're playing like it right now.
Coach, is there something I can help you with? I'm just wondering because you shouldn't be out here on the field while we're discussing it. You understand that, though. As soon as we figure out what we have, we can communicate at that point.
Dead ball.
Wow. I don't know if I'm chasing Joey Porter off the field.
Dead ball foul in Vegas. Brett. Okay. Dead ball. From the plus 48. The plus 48 we're going to enforce. Vegas is going to keep the ball. All right. The result of the play is a fumble in a recovery by Vegas. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the recovering team. The penalty will be 15 yards from the dead ball spot. Vegas keeps the ball, 1st and 10.
Michael Carrizosa coming up with it on the sideline. Did he get the strip too?
He didn't get the strip, but he got the recovery. The great thing about Matt Carrizosa, their punter, he was a caseworker working at homeless shelters in California and Arizona, working 9 to 5 for the last few years while training. This dude.
Oh no! Drew Beasley empties the entire box of knives on Jalen McClendon.
Drew Beasley doesn't care about Matt Carrizosa right now. He cares about winning on an inside rush on Eatman. You saw that beautiful rush. You saw the lineman was overset, and then he comes underneath and gets a big hit. Next time you want to try and get that ball for your team, but that negative play helps your defense.
We've all heard of Aiden Hutchinson. Jim Herman, the DC for San Antonio, coached Aiden's dad, Chris, at Michigan, and says he reminds him of Aiden's pops. And the San Antonio defense now coming to life. That's the Baylor Bear Jordan Williams flexing.
I will say this, their defense has been their calling card all season.
Give me Rush Houston. Rush Houston.
And these last few plays, they're showing why they've been so dominant. They know that if they don't get a stop, they're essentially out of this game. And so now they're turning it on. Something switches in your head.
Herman, the former Broyles Award winner in '97 with Michigan, and Charles Woodson. Trouble for McClendon, and brought down. Another one for Beasley. Delonte Scott was in there as well. This changes everything as we inch closer to the 4th quarter.
Well, it's a broken play, but it doesn't matter. Drew Beasley is an effort player. He goes hard all the time. And sometimes when you just go hard, the ball finds you. Notice he wins. Could have got pushed down. He doesn't get pushed down. He keeps his effort up, and he gets that sack. Now you got a 4th and forever, 4th and almost 30 yards. And now that field position game starts to matter. It's the 4th quarter. You understand, 2-score game. Get the ball back and find a way.
Delonte Scott got half a sack. He's within a half sack of the lead in the XFL. Welcome back to fabulous Las Vegas, home of the Vegas Vipers. They're wrapping up their final game at home inside Cashman Field this season. San Antonio, meanwhile, will play the final 3 inside the Alamo Dome, which is also the site of the XFL championship game. Carrizosa will punt on a 4th and 27. San Antonio nearly got it. Now this is Terrell Bonds deep. He fumbled this last time and is hit instantly by Matthew Sexton. Week 7 in the XFL continues tonight with the Defenders and Guardians on ESPN and ESPN Deportes at 6 Eastern. And tomorrow afternoon, it's the Battlehawks and Roughnecks on ESPN at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Every game is also available on ESPN+. Derek King, the Houston Cougar, Miami Hurricane, trying to keep DC perfect against Orlando. They've been close, but have not found the win column thus yet. But watching Vegas, a team that has struggled, playing inspired football here, has to let Orlando believe. Hilliman brought down by Keelan Kennedy. Let's set the stage here. Just getting into the 4th quarter, this is a close to a must-win game for San Antonio. They're a half game back of Arlington, who lost yesterday. A win for the Brahmas would move them into a tie for 2nd in the South. Top 2 teams get in. Bankert drops the snap, going backwards. He loses it. Out of bounds. And that was Marin Evans with the pursuit and stop. Near disaster for the Brahmas.
This linebacker core for the Vegas Vipers has been outstanding. Notice Evans, he sees the quarterback escape the pocket, doesn't waste a second, goes for the upfield shoulder, and doesn't allow himself to get juked.
Number 13.
We have a flag as well.
Correct, it is more than 10.
Intentional grounding offense, number 13. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. 3rd down.
So I guess it's a win in that San Antonio didn't lose possession of the football.
And the ball went out of bounds. So as a defender, you're saying, man, I wish he would have stayed. I could have got the sack. But the effect is the same. 3rd and extra long.
If San Antonio drops this, They need to find a way to make up a game in the final 3 of the season on Arlington, which would likely mean finding a win against Houston and DC, the top 2 teams in the league. Hilliman, minimal yardage, 4th and forever, and San Antonio will punt it away. Vegas with the win, they stay alive. It's a long shot in the North because it's loaded with maybe the 3 best teams in the league, at least 3 of the best 4 with Houston. And we're talking DC, St. Louis, and Seattle.
And this is the time of the game where you're happy that in the 4th quarter, in those last few minutes, the clock changes, and so you might get some.
Nearly blocked by Vegas. This is a boomer by the Aussie. Will it go into the end zone? That's the problem with a punt of that distance. This will set up Vegas on the 35-yard line. It is getting good as Vegas close it in on win number 2 of the XFL season. Got an epic championship coming up Sunday. A women's championship coming down to LSU and Iowa. Caitlin Clark, unbelievable. Kim Mulkey getting the Tigers into the championship game in season number 2. That's unheard of. You can also watch it with Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, 3:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2 and ESPN+. It's going to be a classic championship game. The women's game exploding. Great to see. Great performance here by Jalen McClendon, making his XFL starting debut and playing debut as Rod Smith has been the bread and butter in the backfield, 5 yards on 1st down. Vegas playing to avoid elimination. Season on the line. Rod Woodson looking for a spark, and he got it with a man out of Baylor and Jalen McClendon.
Troy right off, 25 read spot, out of pistol.
Troy right off, 25 read spot. Yeah, 25 read.
The live line is Vegas now a 13.5-point favorite.
Hey, you got it.
They opened at a 2.5-point favorite. 1 score, and the over hits. McClendon, feathery touch to Brandon Dillon for the 1st down.
Did you see that? Like, notice he could have thrown it on a line, but instead, in the middle of his throwing motion, he changes the angle of that pass to keep it from getting deflected. That's maturity on display. Notice this, he kind of like double clinches, and he gets it over the outstretched defender. And so that's a play you don't see people who are making their 2nd start make. That's called football IQ.
But a guy that's been paying attention, learning the system. This week, the system catered to him and his skill sets. The legs have been impressive as well. Smith right into the belly, the spin, the 1st down. Superman moving the chains again.
You talk about timing on that. Notice he almost missed the handoff again like he did in the first play. Took a few extra steps to get the ball in the belly of his running back. As he gets more reps, the timing will happen, but he's still fixing plays that could be broken.
So that was the timing being off with the mesh point. That wasn't anything fancy.
Yeah, people think it's easy. You think, okay, I'm just turning the hand off. No, running backs have certain tracks that they have to stay on in order to help the offensive line and help their play. And so that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it happen in real life.
Now to Lovett. Lovett slips 1 tackle. Lovett to the corner. They used that sideline for a touchdown reception last week. He is so electric out of the backfield in the receiving game at 21 yards per catch. Really looked good on the ground. He had the backbreaker, that 4th down touchdown.
Pistol.
He did. We're hearing offensive coordinator Ray Sherman. He's calling the plays, but he's also saying take your time. He understands that in the 4th quarter timing rules, it's just like everything else. The clock runs until the last 2 minutes, but he's telling his quarterback, hey, I know you can handle this. Run the plays, but take your time.
Love it. Brought down by Jordan Williams. Now, they're doing this against the San Antonio defense, #1 in scoring, #1 in tackles for loss as well. You can make the case this Brahmas defense is the best in the league.
You definitely can. And if San Antonio wants to stay in the game, this is the series. More specifically, this may be the play to get a stop. 3rd down.
Apache 0 train.
A-Real, 51 glance. 51
So many
glance.
pivotal plays. The most impressive, Rod Smith with a hurdle touchdown.
You heard that zero train, all-out blitz.
And there it is, Smith. Will he do it again? Kerner to beat. Kerner takes a lick, but is able to stand tall. Smith wins this battle. 23 yards for the former Dallas Cowboy.
So that was an all-out blitz. Mike Scott is on the edge. He has to peel with the running back. You heard that Apache zero train. Zero means zero coverage. We're all coming. Mike Scott, number 44. That means somebody has to have the running back on the peel. If he releases, you take him. You saw Mike Scott hesitate, didn't take the back, and that's what caused the big gain.
The Smith hurdle, so important. Deontay Anderson, the interception in the end zone, equally as important. And the haymaker, the fourth down touchdown by Lovett. As that is Jordan Williams, has been extremely active with the stop. Fitz.
Turn out the lights. The party's about to be over.
Not yet. Not yet, Fitz.
Like Dandy Don Meredith on Monday Night Football, man. Hey, right there. Quarterback play from Vegas, stunned. San Antonio's defense didn't show up. Fitz, I'm ripping this bad boy up in a second.
You're still alive. You gotta believe, man.
You can only believe so much, guys. There's been at least 7 points scored in every quarter of this game, and they're right on the doorstep.
It's Stormy speaking reality. McClendon.
Y'all, Stormy,
fourth and third.
Stormy and Fitz, y'all seem more frustrated about the over than you do about the actual game. Is there something I need to know, Fitz or Stormy?
Listen, we have priorities. Listen.
Well, Vegas, remember, the over has hit in all but one game. San Antonio, the under in all but one game. Fitz, you've been on fire this season, Fitz. There's no shame.
There's a whole contingent of people that are probably more frustrated right now than expected.
McClendon feeling pressure, screen, and a fine open field tackle by the Iowa Hawkeye, Jack Kerner. All right. Can we just get the camera on Fitz right here for this field goal? Can we have the Fitz cam?
Hey,
Fitz,
I'm ready to tear it up.
Fitz, play by play. You've got this call. You've got this call, okay?
I hate you right now. You know that, don't you?
I love you, though. It's a 34-yarder. Take us through it, Fitz.
Yeah, he told me before kick he's good inside 55, so this is money. The execution. Is that one right? Oh, we are alive, ladies and gentlemen. We are not tearing this ticket up just yet, kids. Here we go. Come on with it.
Fitz, I tried to tell you. Keep the faith. The under still in play with 7:35 left.
The new XFL has arrived.
And it is here to stay.
1, 2, 3.
We're making it about her and him and them and you. It's a chance for everyone to be a part of something bigger.
Something that just might be more than football.
Touchdown! Intercepted! Showing the burners!
Come experience the XFL.
Don't wait. Get your single game tickets now at xfl.com/tickets.
Well, you know your money when you show up to Vegas looking like Tom Cruise in Rain Man with the gray suit, white shirt, ready to win some money, Fitz. You and Tom Cruise, man.
Hey, man, I need Dustin Hoffman with me right now, but we have the under in this game. We got it at 39 last night at Caesars, 38.5 at kick. Also, like DC, the over 45, Houston over 44.5. Let's try and cash a ticket. I don't want to ride with Sacho to the airport. I want to drop him off and then go back to the book and take a ticket to the window.
Hey, man, you're killing it. Up more than $85 so far this season. Good work there. As Patrick with the carry on first down. Time now is the enemy of San Antonio.
Off the ground.
Yeah, and points is the enemy of Fitz. Fitz told me earlier, said, man, if they get this under, I'm going straight back to the hotel. I'm going and cashing my ticket. If not, I'm heading straight to the airport. I'm tearing it up and going with Sam to the airport.
Meanwhile, such an important 7-minute stretch. Backside pressure and dropped. The sack by Maurice Smith.
Timing is everything. Maurice Smith, he creeps down, and he has the blitz off the edge. Banker doesn't see it. One thing that Maurice said before the season, he said, I want to be the best safety in the XFL. Well, he was injured. Last week was his first week back. Now you're seeing the defense come together because of his leadership, his accountability, and his efforts.
First Vegas sack of the afternoon, 3rd and 19 for Kurt Banker, who was on the beach with his wife and daughter 10 days ago when he got a call from San Antonio saying, we need help. That's out of the reach of Patrick. Flag is down.
On your left. Hold up. Let's slow down, guys. Yep. Everybody, slow down. Everybody, slow down.
Late hit on 48. Unnecessary roughness.
Here, hold up, guys. Let's step right back here into the open. Right here, this way. Right over here. Can somebody do some crowd control?
Yeah, 48.
48.
Unnecessary roughness.
Gotcha. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 48. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Sam, that drive was dead in the water. New life for the Brahmas.
Yeah, and I'd love to get Dean's perspective on this call. I see, yeah, there are a couple extra steps, and yeah, that is an unnecessary roughness. Dean, what did you see on that play?
No question, forcible contact to the head neck area of a defenseless player. That's a foul, good call in that situation.
Banker to throw to Brown. Brown trying to break the 50 into Vipers territory. 21 yards. It's been a breakout game for the Mississippi State Bulldog. 14 games in 2 seasons in the NFL. He's got a kick return for a score. And a key catch to give the Brahmas life. Banker with the bullet looking for TJ Vasher, incomplete.
Come on, man.
Got to give some credit to Keelan Kennedy. This dude has struggled earlier in the season, but he's really finding his mojo. Was one of the top junior college transfers coming out.
Bad chimp fish. Nickel, trips right. Bad chimp fish.
Bad chimp.
And he's accepted the challenge this week. That's why you're seeing this defense play at such a higher level.
And of course, you'd want to give credit to Baker, what he's gone through. Chest x-rays after getting slammed to the turf by Max Roberts early in the game after the first drive.
Sometimes you wonder after hits like that, what will a quarterback feel? How will they respond?
It's on the right hash.
Now we're seeing it.
Middle. Let's go fack. Let's go fack. Bash right snug. Fack. Bash right snug. 74 Dino switch flow.
74. 74.
Hurry up. We got 15
that's
seconds.
The pass. You see that fack F across. So that's Landon Akers going to come across.
74
10.
Dino
You know you got to get past 10 yards.
Akers 82 in yellow. Baker's not looking for him. Didn't see Tomopenu.
Rolling on the field is an empty hand fumble by the quarterback, recovered by Vegas. First down.
Now what this means is Peter Tomopenu moves into the XFL lead with Trent Harris for sacks.
And that's 6 sacks in the last 3 games. Pita Taumoi-Penu. This is what he did in his high school state championship. He had the game-winning sack for his team. The night before that game, he lost his granddad, who he's named after, who he grew up with back in Tonga. He lost his granddad, Pita, and all of a sudden he went out and had a great game, decided to go to Utah, 21.5 sacks there. Now 6 sacks in the last 3 games, leads the XFL. Pita Taumoi-Penu coming in with the dip, sack, forced fumble.
Grew up on his grandfather's fruit farm, picking fruit and playing basically any sport but football. He was a cricket and rugby player.
Yeah, and he actually thought that his granddad and his mom were his mom and dad. He moved to Tonga at 3 months old. And then when he was there, his granddad continued to tell him, one day, you're going to go back to your country and you're going to play sports. You're going to be great. And he's like, no, Granddad, I want to stay with you. His granddad was the biggest fruit farmer in the village, would feed everyone in the village. He said, no, son, one day you're going to go and make memories for back in your country.
Didn't even know the names of the positions when he started playing before his senior year of high school. And he also
delayed
was
game. He didn't get
bullied
off.
when he was first starting his high school career because he was a kid from another country that didn't speak great English, that tried to fit in, learned the game of football. But you know, football in the United States, most of these kids are playing from the time they're 6, 7 years old. He was the newcomer and ended up showing everybody.
And it's not just language, it's culture too. He didn't move until it was right before his senior year. That's when he first moved back to America. So he grew up in Tonga. He said he has over 200 cousins. Family is everything. So you come to a different culture, a new language, a new team, a new sport, a new life, and now he's making memories in the NFL and the XFL. He was a 6th-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers.
And that race for the title of Sack Crown, that's a big deal. Big deal for Talupeno. We asked him about his why, and Peter told us before the start of this game the reason why he plays.
To know all of you guys more as players, as people, and what motivates you. So in 1 or 2 words, could you write down what your why is in playing football? You didn't even have to think about it. If you could show that to the camera. Why family?
Man, family's very, very important, man. Damn, like growing up in Tonga, family all we got, you know. It's very important that we work to support each other, take care of each other, and show love to each other because we never know how long we live in this world. And yeah, just being grateful and yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You can't help but feel that emotion even up here.
I'm amazed by the success that Pita has had over these last few weeks. Early in the season, we didn't see the production, but we saw the effort, we saw the energy. And oftentimes with pass rushers, production comes and sacks come in bunches. We saw 3 2 weeks ago, 2 last week, 1 so far this week. He did it in Utah, 21.5. He had some time at the San Francisco 49ers, and now he's going to continue that. Now he's the XFL sack leader. But it's the effort, energy he consistently puts forth. He once said that, man, you can do anything in this life as long as you sacrifice. That successful people sacrifice something in this life.
And Sam, I want to get your opinion on this. I talked to Rod Woodson yesterday and asked him who he thinks is the most NFL-ready guy right now. And he immediately said Pita. He said he's a speed rusher, but he needs a counter move. He said he needs a spin or something. He's got a real opportunity. And when he gets to the next level again, if he gets a pass rush specialist who can really dial in with him, a team will be made very, very happy. But what do you think about that? He needs a move.
Well, he's right. The best pass rushers, they have a move and they have a counter. And so you look at Von Miller, it's that same dip that we saw. But his counter, he can come inside, or his speed. Pita, his sack last week, it was one of that same kind of, we call it a ghost move. It's a speed rush. You pretend you're going to stab him and you come underneath. You come over the top. But offensive linemen will get used to that, and so they'll start setting for you for that speed. So he needs a counter, whether it's a spin move, whether it's 3 steps up and come underneath. He needs some kind of move to offset the people who know that, hey, man, this guy's a speed rusher. Von Miller would be a great guy for him to watch.
Coming up on the final 2 minutes here in Vegas. Final home game for the Vipers, trying to go out with style. Throwing on the run to Patrick. Patrick stays up. Now we'll get out of bounds.
Let's go nickel 6. Nickel 6.
2:01.
Let's go. Nickel 6. Let's go.
So we're
double
getting
left,
close to that 2-minute warning.
Double left, close, snug.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning here in Vegas. So many whys driving these players to keep the dream alive. Defiance. That's what we've seen from the Vipers. Week 7 rolls on. Is Orlando going to play inspired like Vegas? Can the Guardians get win number 1? It would be the upset of the year. They could take down undefeated DC. That game is coming up over on ESPN. And then tomorrow, St. Louis and Houston. The Roughnecks, the leader in the South. Battlehawks battling with Seattle for the 2 spot in the North. 2 minutes remaining. Kurt Baker to Alize Mack, wrapped up, open field excellence by Keelan Kennedy. That will keep the clock running.
So it looks like it's a first down. So fourth quarter timing rules, last 2 minutes. The clock runs when that ball is now set, the chains have moved.
Desperation for Bankert. Incomplete to Alize Mack. Folks, if you want the real storyline,
let's go nickel, nickel.
It is the total.
Let's go double left close snug.
38.5
double left
is the
close
total.
Snug. Let's go 57.
We have not
nudge
had a
Florida.
score since the 10:54 mark in the third quarter. The under,
Vegas.
if it holds, will hit.
Wide 80. Wide 87.
Bullet pass to Akers. He's had a solid day to the 30-yard line. Fitz, how you feeling in the final?
We don't talk about these things at these times. You know, it's like talking to a pitcher who's got a no-hitter or a perfect game going.
Fitz,
We're not talking about it. Move on.
You brought
Move
it up.
on.
You brought it up. You took out the ticket.
Guys, we have a saying in the betting community. It's not under till it's over. Let him have a breath.
Thank you, Stormy. Thank you. The Vegas native off the top rope.
And Vegas with another sack. If that's credited in any way to Tamopenu,
I got more than four
he
in the backfield.
becomes
77
the
was in the
XFL
backfield.
sack leader.
77, not enough on the line of scrimmage.
But we do have a penalty.
Repeat it one more time. They're going to want to decline.
Yeah, most likely.
They're going to want to decline this.
They want to decline.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Offense. The penalty is decline. Second down.
You got a timeout.
Brahmas calling the timeout after that, but how about it? Tamopenu is now the sack leader in the XFL. Trent Harris, he's got his game coming up on Sunday. Tim Ward, his teammate, is in the race. Delonte Scott moved within a half a sack of the lead. He's missed 2 games for San Antonio this year.
The 2 sacks that Tamopenu had last week, they sealed the game essentially. And he's doing it again, sealing the game for his team.
By the way, San Antonio did not call a timeout. More edge pressure. Patrick met with a thud. And another flag. As Maurice Smith was in with Steven Roberts.
I think he flopped.
Dude,
2-6.
So we told you before the start of the broadcast last week,
that's my
Vegas
opinion.
probably isn't in the mix
that's up to you.
to make a run in the North, but we said they would absolutely be a factor in the race in the North and South, and this is why. There's talent on this roster.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 26, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And early in the season, the first 3 games, they were up at halftime. And we've seen them play DC tough twice. DC is the best team record-wise in the league. And so this team has been waiting for a spark. I think they found it with their corners playing better and also with Jalen McClendon taking the helm.
Still wonder if you're San Antonio, would it be different if Bankert was not hurt, didn't go to the locker room to get an x-ray on his chest? He has not played this game nearly 100% since the opening drive. And his first XFL start, another flag, shovel pass, and Fred Brown makes the reception.
Easy. We got a foul. We got a foul.
66.
I will say this, Lowell. It's not over till it's over. It'll be over in Underworld, but also in this world, too. You got XFL rules where you can get a score. You can go for a 3-point play if you want, and then a 4th and forever.
Hands to the face, offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Oh, that is a step in the right direction for the under as San Antonio moves back after that penalty. And this is a huge blow for San Antonio because most of the most likely scenarios for them to make the playoffs revolved around wins against Orlando and Vegas, the teams with a combined single win coming into this week. Patrick, sideline, will stay inbounds, now out of bounds at the 45. After this, Jordan Ta'amu, he's coming to life. DC undefeated. They've got such balance with their offense. Abram Smith can go for 200, and then Ta'amu and King can do it through the air and on the ground as well. Is Orlando still trying to get that breakthrough win?
187.
Hilliman drops it. So final 3 games as Beckert is getting up slow. All three will be inside the Alamo Dome for the Brahmas. Houston, Orlando, D.C. A loss here drops them a full game behind Arlington.
Well, guys, Kurt Bankert told me in the second quarter after he got belted in the chest in the first that his pain level was around a 6.5 to 7, and he just got hit again right there. You see him holding his chest with his right hand. I mean, he declined a chest protector in the locker room because it felt uncomfortable, a little bit compressed, but that dude's tough as nails right now. That last hit, he's done for the day. Here comes Juwan Pass.
Absolutely. And keep in mind what this Brahmas team is going through, especially offensively. They've got now 2 offensive touchdowns over the last 4 weeks before playing Arlington last week on back-to-back plays in practice. The center fell over on Jack Cohn, their regular starting quarterback. He hurt his ankle. He's out. Very next play, Kalen Balaj takes a pass, ruptures his Achilles. He's done for the season.
They bring in Ben Kurt the very next day. Ben Kurt plays in the game last week. And then now this is tough to see a guy who's been helping his team to be going out in that manner.
3rd and 8, Juwan Pass enters. He was a starter last week. It's been 4 different starters the last 4 weeks, and that's overthrown for Patrick. A score here in the final 45. It's going to end up on Scott Van Pelt. Would be a bad beat. Coming up next, DC and Orlando. Sunday, St. Louis and Houston. Roughnecks have some figuring out to do after dropping 2 in a row.
They started off 4-0. They've lost their last 2 games. And it'll be interesting. St. Louis has been hot. So one thing that St. Louis said, Anthony Beck said, we'll see how good Houston is when they play D.C. Well, they played D.C. Now let's see how good St. Louis is when they play Houston.
4th and 8 for the Brahmas. Under fans, on your feet.
Got him delaying again.
But hold that thought.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's 4 with Pass at quarterback over the last 2 games. 4th and 13.
This is the time where you bring out your best pass rush move. If you're a pass rusher, Talmoa Penu, be a good time for an up and under.
Beasley at the top of the screen. Patrick, still up, still alive, breaking through tackles to the 40-yard line with 36 seconds left. 20 yards for Patrick. Fitz, give us a temperature.
I don't want to talk to any of you at all until the next 30 seconds are done. Then I'll be more than happy to communicate.
So we will communicate to America on your behalf. Fitz took the under coming into this game. Adamant about it, and hey, you got to believe because it's still in play with 38 total points on the board.
Well, when you grow up in a thoroughbred horse farm in Folsom, Louisiana, I asked my mom when I was about 8 or 9 years old, why do you race horses? And her response was, money won is twice as sweet as money earned. So, hey. There you go. That's why we have the under in this game of 39. That's why we're sweating bullets right now, even though it's not going to pay for college tuition.
Hey, you look like Carlton Fisk on that missed field goal there, waving that ball outside of the uprights.
Fitz, what would your mom say about money lost? Like, I get the money won. What about money lost? What is that? What's it saying?
We never really got to that point, Acho.
There we go.
Didn't ask that question. She's watching right now, so she might text you.
30 seconds left. Vegas looking for their second win of the season. Trying to stave off elimination. Juwan Pass, lost it, got it back, drops, and tick, tick, tick. Brahmas with 1 timeout left. And they will call it with 19 seconds on the clock. Want to give a shout out to the amazing people here in Las Vegas at Cashman Field. This will be the final home game of the season for Vegas. We're playing in an old minor league baseball stadium. There are a lot of challenges that go in to playing football anytime that you're in a baseball stadium. And the folks here at Vegas with the XFL, our ESPN crew, have done a phenomenal job making Cashman Field an appropriate home for XFL football.
And win, lose, and draw, we've seen these fans come out and support their team. Even last week after a loss, they stayed and the players stayed. Remember, the players are all based in Arlington from all these teams. They stayed and signed autographs for every single fan. Looks like it's going to be a win this game, and I expect more fans to be staying and waiting and signing as they build this team, the Vegas Vipers.
21 seconds for Jawan Pass, no timeouts. Overthrows Jaquez Patrick.
Nickel.
And for Vegas, they show they're a threat now.
Let's go empty rights.
Last three on the road,
Alabama.
St. Louis, Houston, Seattle. Specifically, the St. Louis and Seattle matchups, they could be the determining factor in who's the #2 team in the North behind DC. They got their quarterback, we know that. Brilliant performance by Jalen McClendon out of Baylor. Jawan Pass tipped, and it falls incomplete. Here we go. The total 38.5. Vegas, they've got everything riding on this in terms of if you showed up to this fine city, put money on the under. Vipers 2.5-point favorites. They got that one. Surprise favorites entering this game as well with all the struggles. Pass. And that will do it. Somehow, no points in the final 23 minutes and 54 seconds, allowing the under to hit. Do you believe in miracles, Fitz?
To everybody who's given me a lot of grief, all the text messages and tweets, every now and then, it's better to be lucky than good.
And take that. Drop the mic on that one. Fitz adding another win. He's 2-0 so far this week in his Week 7 picks. And a huge win for Rod Woodson and the Vegas Vipers. They continued to believe when the results on the field told them otherwise. It's a defense that allowed at least 29 points in 4 straight games. They hold San Antonio to 12. And they stave off eliminations.
And 6 of those 12 was on the kickoff return. So Jim Herman's saying, hey, some of those don't belong to us.
It just an amazing moment, taking advantage of opportunity. Rod Woodson made the trade, sent Luis Perez to Arlington to play for a contender, to also open up room for Jalen McClendon, who's standing by with Stormy.
Jalen, you have been waiting and wondering what it would be like for your number to be called to get a start in a professional football game. How did this live up to your expectations?
Man, I would say I'm surprised, but like I've been preparing the same every week. God said he was gonna do it. He did it.
Baby, all God,
you feel me? Call God. So I wait. Like he's my roommate too, so he knows. So like you know what I'm saying? Just knowing that God gonna do it for me, he did. So pretty much it.
You've been working so hard for this moment, and to have your mom in the stand, she surprised you before the game. She got to watch you get your first professional win. Is there anything better?
Nah, it's all. That's what I was saying. It's all God timing. Like my chapel ended up paying for her flight to get out here because flights were expensive. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. The flights were too expensive. It was like $700 to get out here. My chapel ended up paying for a flight to come out here. So like it was all God timing.
We'll go celebrate with her. Enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Sam, able to give Mom a moment she's never going to forget. That's a moment too one day he's going to tell his son Elijah about when he made his XFL debut.
My mom believed in me. Lowell, your mom, I'm sure, believed in you. When you have a mom, people talk about there's nothing better than a mother's praying. A mother's belief, man. She believed, she showed up, and this was the moment. Your son showed up on a national stage, and welcome, as we heard from Rod Woodson, to the Jalen McClendon Show.
Things get really tough for Brahmas to get back in the playoff conversation. For Sam and our entire crew, I'm Lloyd Galindo. Thank you so much for watching.